What's good, everybody? What's going on? Black
Hello,
Comic
hello.
Lords in the building. One more again. And tonight we're going to talk Black Lightning. I got my man, the Chief Dundada Paul, and I guess the writer of Black Lightning, DC Comics, flyest superhero as far as I'm concerned.
That's right.
Mr. Brandon Thomas, how you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Good to see
Feel
you.
good.
All right. Paul, how are you, sir?
Cooler than a fan, brother. Cooler than a fan.
All right. I say happy holidays to the whole BCL fam, Black Superheroes Forever fam. Before we get started, let's just do some housekeeping. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a hater. We live. And we're going to be talking about the flyest Black superhero DC has ever created, Black Lightning, tonight, particularly issue number 2. We're going to dabble and tease a little bit of issue number 3.
We are.
And just to let you know, we're talking about issue 2 tonight. So, Derek, I don't know if you want to run the little disclaimer about spoilers, but we're spoiling issue number 2.
Yeah.
So, if you have not read it, 1, that tells me that you don't have it on your pull list. 2, you need to put it on your pull list. And 3, go get a late pass. You need to catch up. So that's right. You've been warned.
I've never seen that one before. That's dope.
Yeah. So look, want to say what's going on, everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? We got my mans here. We don't want to delay the time. So issue number 2, Black Lightning.
Yeah.
Dope issue. Woo! The covers just by themselves is just electrifying.
It's good stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So I gotta say that if you're a cover guy, you can't go wrong with these 2 covers here. One of the things I do like that DC does is, you know, that first cover there on the left is the A cover, and the one there on the right is the B cover. But if you happen to buy the B cover, the first page in the comic book is the A cover.
Right.
So, and DC does that for all their variants. So you can go ahead and get the cover you like. You don't have to buy, you know, if you want to buy multiple issues, hey, we here for it.
Yes. I will not stop you.
Yeah. Don't miss your blessing. But yeah, these covers are nice. So what do you think about these covers, Paul? What did you get? And you know, it's in terms of the covers, bro.
Bro, is that like a trick question? I got both of them. Come on, you know what I do.
See. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm trying to convert him. See, Paul is a member of the cult of Boss, and you know what I'm saying? And there's another superhero with the name Black, you know what I'm saying? Little guy named Black Panther. I'm trying to convert him, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a cool name like the cult of Boss, you know what I'm saying? But I'm working on it. So just somebody help me out in the chat. What do you think we should call Black Lightning fandom? You know, what should we be called? You know what I'm saying? Y'all help us out in the chat. I'm putting y'all to work tonight.
That's a good question.
I think too.
So Mr. Brandon, real quick, as far as the covers, which one is your favorite cover, bro?
My favorite?
Yes, sir.
Of out of these 2?
Yes.
I like the main cover. Here's why. I'm always a little biased towards the main cover because that's the one that I have more input over. That's the one that I get to kind of make suggestions. And then when we see like the layouts and stuff, I can kind of weigh in. The variants are kind of done separately because you notice most of the variants are not story specific. So it really doesn't need me to weigh in. You know, they usually just say, you know, we need Black Lightning, we need, you know, Thunder, and then, you know, it kind of goes from there. But still, it's a great job by Ryan Benjamin on our variant for this month. But I'm always a little more preferential towards the A covers, because those are the covers that I get to kind of like make some input on, which you can definitely see. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but the cover to issue 4 is definitely me kind of putting my thumb on the scale and like, this is what I want to see.
Yeah. Well, for me, I just was, I love the B cover. You know what I'm saying? That's Anissa. Anissa's, I love her hair.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just kind of all over the place. It's just beautiful. And so I like the A cover, but I wanted to ask you about, I don't know if that's an Osleos nod or whatever, but he had Southside.
What about these names? You asked for names.
Okay, I'm gonna get to the name, but I need to know what's going on with that billboard that say New Southside. Are we talking gentrification? Are we slipping that in?
Yes. Well, because Suicide Slum has now been rebranded as Southside Heights.
Yeah.
So that, to be honest, that was actually a bigger part of the kind of pitch for the series. We were talking like a little bit more directly about the kind of renaming of this kind of neighborhood and kind of what does that mean for the people that are living there and kind of the new entrants. But the more we kind of, I want to say like the family drama kind of really took over a lot of the narrative, and we lost a little of that kind of, push and pull of the new Suicide Slum versus the original Suicide Slum. But it's still mentioned kind of like in passing and in dialogue. It's still in there, but it's not kind of as top of line as I initially thought it was going to be. The family dynamics and the family conflicts really kind of took over the book in a way, and so we did lose a little of that, but we did want to kind of wink and nod to that wherever it was appropriate, wherever we had the space. But that's definitely what that is.
Okay, cool. So some of y'all have now Paul talked about these names. Okay, so JT says Lightning Corps.
Okay.
Eclectic says Black Boat Brigade, then Shango Society. Shango Society would kind of work, but the problem is Shango's not really a part of this mythos or whatever. I dig it though. Let's see. Black Boats, Lightning Strikers.
Black Bolts.
That's too cheesy. I do think Black Boat Squad would be dope.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll keep working through it.
Yeah.
This is actually funny because for a long time the book wasn't going to be
Lightning League. I like that one. Lightning League.
Yeah. For a long time the book actually wasn't going to be called Black Lightning. It was going to be called something else. So we actually kind of went through this.
Okay.
Wow. I don't want to say what we talked about because we may use it in other things, but there was a discussion over whether or not this series was even going to be called Black Lightning, because it's much more of a kind of like Black Lightning family book. So we were thinking of kind of like, was there a name for the family that could double as the name for the comic? But ultimately, the DC was kind of like, yeah, it's cool, but no one really knows what that is yet. So, we're just going to stick with Black Lightning, and then maybe in the future we can, do some kind of partial rebranding or give like the Pierces their own name. Because you're looking for something like, The Incredibles or something that refers to everyone in the family. Right. So, we were in search of that before we started the book. So.
Black Lightning and the Lightning League.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff like that, but sometimes it gets a little too long. Like Black Lightning by itself it's not a super long title, but when you kind of put it next to other titles, you get a lot of 2 and 3 syllables. So this is how This is how like
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the nerd weeds we are like we're talking about syllables and like we can't go up to the fourth syllable. It's just it's too
Yeah,
much.
it's like Paul like to say all the time. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. Got to say the whole thing.
Right,
You gotta say
right.
the whole thing, man. You gotta say the whole thing.
But even though people still do call them tribes, so some people are still just like I'm not saying all of it. It's tribe.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking
yeah.
about? Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into this book. First
Okay.
page. Interesting. Now, let me give you your props, bro, because I'm already putting it out there. That Justice League jumpsuit or tracksuit, one want to call it.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all send my man his coins when y'all start cosplaying this here.
We were so, oh my God, this happened like in the layout stage because we were like, what do we want to put her in? Because we didn't want her to have on her full, superhero costume because she's at this point, she's not Thunder anymore. But we're like, we need something. And it's like, what about like a track suit, like a cool, like Justice League branded track suit? And FICO drew it in and we just went crazy over it. And when it was colored, like there's other variations too. So if you like this, there's some colorways for this suit like coming up in future issues because we don't want to have her wearing the same one.
I dig the tracksuit concept because I mean these superheroes for the most parts they're athletic. They need something they can slip in and out of very easily. One of the first ones I saw do this was Morgan Hampton on the Cyborg run that he did. He insisted on Cyborg wearing these tracksuits with his symbol on it. So yeah, this tracks. This is dope.
Yeah. No, we're obsessed with this, and there will be more. So there'll be different color variations and stuff, and so hopefully we were just kind of spitballing like, man, what if they started making these? Like, so.
If DC's smart, they might start releasing these. I'm just saying,
bruh. I mean, it's dope. It is definitely dope, man. So let's get to Miss Anissa Pierce, who I mean, if you just look at those panels there, she looks and isn't like she's in a dark place.
Yes. Yeah.
And so she's not a teenager. She's a little older, right? And she's talking to, I guess, a therapist.
Yes.
And so she's having this interaction with this therapist because she's lost her powers or she can't control her powers.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, I could tell that Anissa has issues when she's not in control.
Yes.
And so this dialogue that she has, and she says, my father never wanted me to be a superhero. And she says, and I took it a little personal. And so she kind of, goes back in her mind, I guess, when when she discovered her powers and then decides this is what she's going to do, right? He's resistant to it or whatever. And, all of a sudden it's a problem. But, in that second bubble there, in that second panel, she says, but sometimes it felt like he wanted to keep it all to himself. And, it's interesting. Like we were talking off screen, I said that this particular scene resonates with me because I have a daughter who's a little old. She's 27, and we've bumped heads. And you know what I'm saying? And there have been things that I have tried to counsel my daughter on where the advice, I know the advice is good, but is she willing to take it is a different thing altogether.
She's ready to receive it.
Yeah. And so it's like she's at this age, like Anissa, where, I got my own mind, I got my own identity, but I'm in this shadow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in the shadow of this larger than life superhero figure. And so this spoke to me in a number of ways. So I'm just curious. as we see Anissa be vulnerable, because that's the thing about her. She's never been in any of the comics I've seen vulnerable. She's always guarded, but this is the most vulnerable I've seen her. So what are your thoughts about when you were writing about her in this particular area?
The big thing that I wanted to do with their kind of dynamic is there's a reason why this story is called The Standard. I mean, it's a bit of that's a Mike Tomlin reference. Like, I don't know how everyone is not like a complete like NFL like super freak like I am, but okay, yeah. So, I really wanted to play with this idea that, blacklightning is kind of like the gold standard of not only superheroes, but especially Black superheroes.
Right.
So when you read this book, I'm pushing and pulling against that idea and try and really kind of examining what it means and what does it mean when you have the quote unquote like perfect father. Like, what does that do to you emotionally when you make mistakes, which everyone makes, and Jefferson has made mistakes too, but to his children and his family and a lot of other people, he is this kind of presence that they can't really escape. And so they always feel, and in Anissa's case, she feels that, she feels that her father is kind of looking down on her in a way because she is not as put together and perfectly kind of positioned as she is, which is not at all true. That's not what he's doing at all, but that is her perception. That's basically her own kind of fear and shame and guilt that is kind of overriding like what is actually happening. And so she really has this thing about, he's never dealt with anything like this. Like he's never made the big mistake. Like he's never really let anybody down. When in contrast, when we started the first issue, you see that's not true at all. Jefferson is going on his own journey. He feels like he's made his own mistakes and his own he feels that he's let people down, but Anissa doesn't see it that way because she's kind of trapped in her own head and she has tunnel vision on her own experience. And to her, we will never live up to, the kind of perfect standard that our father has set. There's also something that we're going to, keep pulling a thread on. The connection between Jefferson and Jennifer is, to her, it is kind of hurtful because their power sets are the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she feels that he has a more natural affinity for Jennifer in comparison to her. And she also feels that kind of as the oldest, she basically took some of the bullets. So like this resistance that Jefferson had to his children becoming superheroes, she feels like she took all of that on and Jen kind of got to skate free because she had kind of helped her father and her parents kind of come to grips with that decision and not feel as kind of anxious and, just hesitant about it. So it's really something that we're just kind of pulling on these emotional threads and trying to find contrast between the characters and the way that they think and their kind of priorities. And this is really kind of how we, and we kind of worked on this a lot because there are actually versions of this where like Anissa is kind of a little kind of like harsher than she is in this final version. So we spent a lot of time refining it because we want it to feel real and earned and not kind of petulant. Like we want it to be understandable, like why she would feel this way, even though it's not true, but in her head, it is true. And she is going to have to work through that. in order to kind of, go on her journey in this story.
There's a parallel between that dynamic that you described and what Batman went through with his various Robins, specifically with Damian, and what you saw, for example, with even Superman with his son John, where you have this figure who's larger than life. He's revered, worshipped to an extent, viewed as perfect, and you have to live up to that standard, and you fall short, and it causes you a great deal of disdain. It's the same parallel.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about that, though, Paul. I would say, to just add, to piggyback on that, I think the difference is, though, and if someone may admit it, but someone may not admit it, but these are girls. And if you are a dad who has girls, you know how you treat your girls. You're very, very gentle. You know what I'm saying? You're not heavy-handed with them. And
protective as well.
Yeah, very, very protective. So that's the other thing too. So I think she's wrestling with the fact that, okay, he's this larger in life figure. He's protective. He's overprotective or whatever. I can't go nowhere without his shadow kind of being there. And then again, like you say, he has this relationship with Jennifer that's different. I love the little nickname he has. He calls her Jen Bug.
Yeah.
And so, but she don't have a nickname. So it's little things like that.
It's the youngest. It's like there are certain things like the youngest gets that, the oldest doesn't get. So
when you're the oldest, I'm the oldest of me and my brother. Yeah, you are the crash test dummy. Right. You're gonna get all of this, the knots on your head and everything. You know what I'm saying? And the youngest one is kind of like, okay, we get to do this again. So I definitely can understand how Anissa feels. So the next panel that we're going to look at is the family themselves, which is interesting. Black superhero family, not that one, but that's basically
that is a great one too.
Yeah, that one there. That's the one there. Okay, this of course is a time jump backwards to the night Amanda Waller won.
Yeah. They got Paul's
favorite villain. So, and the beautiful thing is that we rarely get to see a Black superhero family, but there they are. There's the Pierce family. And so my only disappointment with the Absolute Power books, whatever, was the fact that my man's and his family was just mentioned.
Yeah.
They were just they weren't in the books themselves, which it's okay, DC. I'll work with it. You did give us this. So
it's funny because I was excited about that because then it gave me leeway to actually tell the story of what happened. I didn't have to honor anybody else's narrative.
Right.
So it was, I know what you're talking about, but in this specific case, I was like, I'm glad they did just mention them because then we have complete free reign to show what specifically happened to them. I don't have to reference someone else's scene or someone else's version of what happened to them. I can center what happened to them in this moment and make it like the centerpiece of what we're doing. So,
and it's an opportunity. It really is an opportunity because you have this open book where you have this blocked out period of time where you don't know what happened to them, and you can build upon that. I think for me, when I see this particular panel, what I think of is the opportunity, not with Jefferson, Anissa, or with Jen, but with the mom.
Yeah.
Right? Because the part of Absolute Power is that the power sets went to all various people. Right? And people that didn't have powers, that's what Jefferson's doing right now. He's collecting these newly formed metas. Give the mom a superpower. And then you've got what we titled this episode is Black Lightning's family, DC's premier Black superhero family. Make it a true Black superhero family. Give the mom powers, and you've got DC's premier Black superhero family in a comic book, just like that.
Yeah,
air an opportunity. You're shaking your head.
There is. I won't say too much, but yes.
Okay.
There is.
So
There is an opportunity there.
So what's a comic book without action? Next slide is a lot going on. Not that one. The one, that one. That one there. The splash page. Okay.
Yeah. Double splash.
Big super monster. Okay. We got helicopters everywhere. We got
Hobbs Bay.
It's a lot going on.
Oh yeah.
In this panel, or in this page, I should say. So, my thing is with this, we know that this is all caused by this Meta, who has powers he can't control or whatever, right?
Yes.
Manifest monster.
A little white boy.
Yeah. So, dangerous.
Yes. That turns into a giant monster. You see what I'm doing.
Yeah. And he says in the panel there's that bring him down easy, he's just a kid. I'm like, oh, really? The kid's doing that? Okay.
Yeah. We actually added that in. That was that line was a last minute addition. We were concerned that that the fact that it was the kid that appears in a couple of pages might kind of go over people's heads. So we wanted to put a line of dialogue in there to kind of clue you in to that fact. So that was,
This page is epic, man. This is like big Hollywood picture. I blew 20% of the CGI budget on this particular scene type of scene.
I blew all my FICO budget on this page.
Right. Like, it's the beauty of comics, man, because you can't get this in the theaters because it just costs too damn much to do something like this.
Yeah.
So now when we look at this, right, we see that, Jennifer is in the splash page with him. She's helping him, do this thing. And of course, the dialogue or the panel at the top is Anissa saying to her therapist that I know he's on the other side of that wall right now in a session.
Right.
Watching me, judging me. And then saying, I know he's ashamed of me.
Yeah.
And this is how she really feels, how her father feels.
Right.
And of course, the panel below at the very corner, he's got a guy, I guess a helicopter pilot or whatever. He's rescuing him. And you just see him with the panel that says, Anissa, now you know that's not true. So even in him saving and in the moment or whatever, he's got his baby on his mind.
Yeah. He's listening to the session while he's, while he's out in the field. And, that was something that was really, really important. And you'll see that resonate as the story goes forward. But I really wanted to make it clear that, without spoiling it, she needs him on the other side of that wall.
Right.
Emotionally. And until he is, she can't get better. So without, giving too much away, but I wanted to plant that idea, even though she's being, I don't want to say unfair, even though she's saying things that she believes are true, she still wants him to hear them.
Right.
And she wants to know, it's kind of like the separation between them is allowing her to say these things that she, wouldn't be able to say to his face. Like she believes there's enough separation between where they are physically that she gets some things emotionally to him that she wouldn't if they were standing face to face. And so we really wanted to seed that idea that even though she's very upset with him, probably for the wrong reasons, she desperately needs to feel that he's on the other side of that wall, that he is still there with her in a way. And, he's kind of, he's doing his best to kind of get as close to that as possible with honoring all of these responsibilities that he has, taken on. And again, he took on all of these responsibilities not knowing that she had an issue. You know, if he knew that her powers were out of control, but because she hid it from her family, if he had known that, he probably wouldn't have this, you know, crisis intervention squad that he's come up with. But you know, that's kind of how it goes sometimes.
Yeah. It is kind of ironic that he's helping metas who have just discovered their powers, and his own daughter is wrestling with her powers as well. And so,
Yes.
And at the same time, he's got to be the hero, because I think that's one of the unfair things of being a hero is no matter what's going on in your personal life, it's your responsibility to save the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you got going on, no matter if your kid's in pain or whatever. And this scene is kind of indicative of that.
Yeah.
So going forward, because we got limited time. This scene here, Paul, why don't you talk about that a little bit, Paul?
So, you know, it's interesting. Anissa's undergoing this therapy with this therapist. And the therapist is not who she seems to be.
No.
Yep.
As it turns out, she's this android providing therapist, because, you know, Anissa's very volatile. Her powers are highly destructive. They take off her restraining bolt, so to speak, to see if she can handle it and gauge the level of her control of her powers.
Yes.
And clearly you can see in the scene that she does not have that control. Who is this robot?
Well, what we this is a fun bit to do, because basically everything in the room with her can withstand this type of outburst. Yeah. Her clothing, all of the kind of you don't see much of it, but kind of like the furniture and stuff in the room, all of this stuff is basically in that room because she won't be able to destroy it. And so that counts for her, you know, for this therapist. And we talked about we wanted to pick a character that looked like she could be like a Pierce family member. We wanted to pick someone that Anissa might be more open to kind of being vulnerable and honest with. And we actually changed this robot a couple of times because we wanted it to look a little more like the robots that Superman has in the Fortress of Solitude.
Right.
So before, it's funny, there's like a version of this where initially like FICO drew it, and like the robot was real, like it looked like the Terminator, like it was like really kind of scary and kind of like apocalyptic, and we were like, no, we need to dial that down a little bit.
Who built this robot?
The robot from the Fortress, you know, that like Clark has like brought up to the satellite, and they have basically kind of like some Superman robots, you know, up on the satellite, you know, performing certain tasks, and this, you know, happened to be one of them. But
who built this robot?
Who built it?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, according to us, Superman probably built, you know, the robot. We wanted it to look like it was a transplant from the Fortress of Solitude that was kind of brought up. Like, who did what kind of like AI programming are we working with? I don't know. We didn't really delve too far into that. But the fun thing is that even after this character will show up again, and even after Anissa kind of knows like it's not like a real person, she still like treats Miss Wallace like she's actually a real person. So it's a real cool like evolving, you know, dynamic.
I asked because I know there's a lot of steelworks in this series.
Yes.
I didn't know if this is something that John Henry Irons had
put
together for them.
We could give John the credit for some of the kind of emotional kind of AI programming that kind of drives the kind of questioning and stuff, but we don't really say who's responsible for that. We just kind of blame.
One last question on this page. What is her power set as we know it to this point?
I haven't said.
You haven't said. All right. I can't tell sometimes if that's lightning or it sometimes even looks like molten lava. It's just like the powers look just kind of crazy extreme.
It will be clearly defined by the time we get to the end of the series. But there's something. It's very specific. There's something very specific that we're doing to her power set. So, but we're intentionally not saying like it's not a it's not a mistake. I don't want you to be able to feel exactly what it is yet, but when it's fully revealed, without giving too much away, when she gets a little more, when there's a little more development, you can definitely see like what the kind of contours of this new power set are, and we're really, really excited about them.
I want to say something about the connective tissue that is Superman and Steel in this particular story, because I always maintain that even though Jefferson has a relationship with Bruce as Batman or whatever, his first initial connection is always been with Superman, and so for me I appreciate that he's a part of the Superman family adjacent, and it's just a beautiful thing, because one thing about comics and comic book heads or whatever, we always ask the question, well, where did this come from? Where did that come from? I mean, we were talking about the droids and that kind of thing. It had not even dawned on me that Steelworks, because when I first saw it, that's all I thought was Superman robots, from Krypton or whatever. So, but to that point, that's definitely a something special, I would say. Looking at this particular scene here, we see Jen. And I love Jen's energy because she's bubbly, you know what I'm saying? Even her colors are light.
Yes.
And so talk a little bit about Jennifer, because she's having this interaction with this Meta who he's just caused a crisis or whatever. Yeah. And she's really just talking to him like, you just didn't try to kill all of us.
Right. Yeah. No, to her, I mean, the thing that I love about her is, to her, all of this is very normal, because she's a couple of levels removed, right? Her sister's a superhero, her father's a superhero. She's grown up in this world. She has these connections to other young superheroes, which we'll get into shortly. And to her, this is all, it's fun. To me, I just thought about, I try to think of like, what if your, father was like the quarterback of a team for like 20 years or something. Like, think of all of the people that you would have met and interacted with, even as like a young child, and how there was, it doesn't feel too big for her. Like, she's been, who knows when she met Superman the first time. There's actually a line, I think it's in the previous issue, where they're talking about, Jefferson was talking about how Wonder Woman, how Diana gave her a compliment and she was just like over the moon, for the rest of the week. So like, that's the kind of vibe that, we definitely want to get from her. We want someone in the dynamic needed to be kind of like less tortured, in a word. Jefferson is not tortured, but him and Anissa are both going through this kind of emotional journey, both separately and collectively. And we needed a character who was kind of outside enough of that dynamic, where she was like, this is still cool. This is still fun. Like, there are, some kind of things about it that I wish were different, but this is just kind of her life. Like, this is all that she's ever known. And that's the type of vibe that I wanted to give her. And that's why we have this scene where, this kid like completely loses control, turns into a giant monster, and she is the person who could actually go to him and be like, hey, it's okay. We're going to fix it. Like, I've been doing this my whole, like, I've been dealing with this shit my whole life. Like, we're going to fix it. It's going to be fine. Don't worry, So that's definitely her vibe. So,
and I love in your definition of we're gonna fix it. She's mentioning Natasha Irons, because it hadn't occurred to me up until this point that she and Natasha Irons would know each other and be cool with each other, and it got me thinking about, wow, I wonder how many other young DC heroes probably know each other, hang out, talk to each other, because that would make for a really dope book.
Absolutely. So here's the thing.
What you talk about
crisis averted. All right, we go to the next scene. You know, you can't go get something to eat, Jefferson. No, we got some more work to do.
Yeah,
you know,
and he's trying to get back to Anissa. He's like, I want to get out, do this thing, get back to my girl, be there for her. And then it's like, oh no, there's dinosaurs at the airport.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, bro, and I know y'all clipped the picture, but I just kind of wish y'all had got the T-Rex in this, because I'm just like, bro, it's a T-Rex. It's not. It's not a lizard. It's not something that crawls outside of your yard. It's a T-Rex. Yeah. So Jefferson is doing this thing. This is another meta who, I guess the power set is he can manifest things from the past and the future, whatever.
He's opening portals from different timelines. So he's accidentally opening portals into a prehistoric past, and then things are passing through them into our world. So there's a T-Rex on the tarmac, there's raptors on the train, there's
Jurassic Park.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just curious, are we going to see this guy again, or is he just kind of
one off? See him again. I don't think you'll
I got a question. I got a question for you about.
You won't see him again. There are only a couple of metas that we introduce here that will definitely show back up, in later issues. If we do more issues, then I would definitely go back to.
Okay. Marquise Draper just popped in the house. Welcome, Marquise. What's up, blackcomiclords? Been busy at work on January's DC Power Special and just finished reading Brandon's amazing script for Blacklightning 5. Can't wait for y'all to read it. We can't wait to have you on the show, Marquise. We can't wait to look.
What's up, man?
For those who don't know, Marquise Draper is associate editor at DC Comics, and all these comics we've been talking about from DC over the last few years.
Shadow Cabinet.
That's Marquise. Okay? Yeah. He needs to be protected at all costs. Shh. Don't let the fanboys know about him. Let the beat brother keep on the low on this.
Yeah. They running other people off at that other company.
Yeah, like we need to protect this brother at all costs. All right? Because all these books that we've been like, oh, that's so dope, that's so dope. That's Marquise.
Yeah.
Every time we interview somebody doing a DC book, I'm like, man, where'd all this come from? Oh, that's just Marquise.
Oh, that's Marquise.
Look, let me tell you something. Marquise, when you gonna come on the show, bro? Talk to me.
We talk to him behind the scene, Paul. Let's get back to the book, bro.
I'm just saying. Look, I got a question for Brandon.
Yeah.
Is Jefferson juicing? Because bro is like,
he's jacked a little bit. He's jacked a little bit.
He on the workout plan. No, it's just that's how he needs to look now.
I mean, I know he's an Olympic athlete, but God,
yeah, that's what we need from him right now. So FICO loves that, and there's actually a scene coming up. I can't tell you about it, but there's a scene coming up where FICO's like, "Damn, like I'm really glad, like I like bulked Jefferson up for this scene, because for this scene he needs to be a little more swole than usual." So something to look forward to.
Yeah, my man is he got the bird going.
So this is the before shot.
Yeah, that's before.
He's clean cut, got the suit on, right?
Yeah,
the family out.
Yeah,
hair's all trimmed up, look like just came from the shop.
Yep.
No stubble.
Yep.
This is the after shot.
Bruh,
I mean,
he ain't got time, bro. He ain't got time to shave, man. He got to keep fighting.
It's so funny you say that. It's funny you say that.
They got a boom tube. He can literally just boom
because
tube to the barbershop.
It will be addressed. That's all I'll say.
So you saying it's a superhero barber that will be boom tube to the Justice League Watchtower,
right.
and you'll have a scene where the Signal's getting his fade done.
He's in the neighborhood. He's not going up to the moon. Jefferson is going to him. But it's hilarious that you say that, because I saw it too, and I decided I'm like we're going to deal with that before the story.
That was my only criticism on Fico on this issue. Like, my man Jefferson
No. See, no. Shout out to Fico, because look, I digs that right there, because see, that's a man that's been working. He ain't got time to go by the barbershop and chew the fat. He got to fight dinosaurs, Paul. He got he ain't got time.
On the train.
Yeah.
You can't save the world and look fly doing it at the same time.
No, dude, we ain't got time to be getting the clippers. You know what I'm saying? Get trimmed up, faded right. No, we get to that sometime, not now.
I won't tell you which issue, but I told myself that it is directly addressed, and in a really cool way too. So
I want a super barber.
Stay tuned.
I want a super barber.
Look, listen. They just finally got, shout out to Raza. They got somebody to finally do Jon Stewart's fade right. I'm not tripping. Okay. My man's okay. He got a little scrub, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He gonna be all right, need to be rugged. See, that's average black man right there. He ain't got average black man ain't got time to go to the shop, especially these prices today. $40 for a shave. Be like, bruh, nah, we can wait till next week.
Yeah. Like, I think I could fit it in next week. But yeah. Look for Freddie's Fadem in a upcoming issue.
Freddie's Fade. That's all right. We got it.
All right. So we go, Paul. Go ahead, Paul.
You clearly been watching our channel, because I know you trolled me on this. I know you trolled. Look, Richard and I have this debate all the time about Amanda Waller. He already trolled me in this very same episode. Amanda Waller is not a villain. She's at worst an anti-hero, in my opinion. She is a super patriot. These are words that I have said literally on this channel weekly. We've been since Absolute Power's been going on. I've been saying this every week. And then you got this dude looking slightly like me when I had my goatee, saying the exact same thing. Brandon, go ahead and tell me that you told Fight.
Now, see, when I tell you this story, I don't want you to get upset. Okay, so I didn't know.
Does Brandon have a disclaimer on this channel? Yeah. Mr. Producer, does Brandon have a disclaimer? Should we run a disclaimer?
What's funny is that this is a character from a really old run of Superman. I don't know if anyone remembers the Jerry Ordway run back. This was post John Byrne's Man of Steel. So this was that era of Superman comics before the Triangle era started in, I believe, the early 90s. And there was a paramilitary group featured in some of those comics called the Sons of Liberty. And so they had one black guy. There was one black dude in the entire Sons of Liberty, and it was this dude. It was this dude named Jay Harriman. And he actually, we don't even deal with this. We might deal with it in the future, but there's some question over whether or not this Jay Harriman is the same character as the one in those books, or if this is a family member or someone that has kind of taken his name. But we don't deal too much with that. But this is an actual character from it was a Marquise suggestion. He's like a really good. He has like an encyclopedic knowledge of like old, obscure black characters from DC history. And so he suggested the Sons of Liberty, and we picked up this character, Jay Harriman, and we basically made him a councilman in Metropolis. And I believe in the script, I described him as a Clarence Thomas type character. And so that is basically kind of like how we came up with the construction of kind of this version of of Jay Harriman, where there are some he does that thing that's always like a big problem for us, kind of, I think, kind of society wise, where he takes something that's true and then kind of spins it in a bunch of bullshit and puts it in another context and pretends that like that's really what he's about. His whole thing is that he doesn't like metahumans. He just doesn't. But he's kind of pretending. He does that thing where he's like, oh, there's a couple of them I like, like I really like Superman. Like I have, and this is so funny. So
Superman's one of the good ones.
Exactly. And my brother has this friend. He's a little older than me. He's like in his 50s, and he despises black quarterbacks. He just does. He hates them to death. Like,
is his name Ruckus?
Well, I mean, it might as well be, but he's like if you know anything about the NFL, like this dude's favorite quarterbacks, he likes Kirk Cousins, who he's having a great week, and Jared Goff. So anytime somebody brings up like one of the black quarterbacks to him, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, he has like a laundry list of things about like what's wrong with them. Like, why don't they do this? Why haven't they done this yet? Why haven't they done this? And, and the white dudes don't have to do anything except be white. Like, they don't have to have any qualifications. They don't have to have stats. They don't have to be respected or anything. They just have to be white. And the black ones have this laundry list that just keeps getting longer of things they have to do. And that's basically kind of like Jay Harriman. There are a couple of, spoiler alert, they, you guys have read issue 3, so you can see some of the kind of begrudging kind of feelings he has towards Jefferson Pierce. And so, he's a really fun character to write just because he's so just reprehensible. And there's also this thing where, because he's a political figure, I did this thing where he talks so much more than anyone else, like in the book. Like I wanted it to feel like if Harriman appears on 4 pages in the book, he should still have more dialogue than the character that appeared on, 18 pages. So I just wanted him just to be like talking and bloviating and kind of just, he is so,
I'll be honest,
he's very in love with his own voice and his own perspective. And I wanted that to come through in the amount of dialogue he has and the kind of the way he speaks. So
I was gonna say that, if you would have like, if the guy would have drew him with more teeth, I'd have said he was Tim Scott. But
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess I should have put Tim Scott, but I kind of described the qualities of Tim Scott, and then I said Thomas. Like that's how it should feel. It should feel like.
What's interesting though, in that situation with him having an affinity, kind of like for Superman, and I myself, I'm a Superman guy, and so but like it or not, it is what it is. Right. Superman is part of the white savior trope.
Right.
And so I can see how that would be a thing for Harriman, and that, Superman is kind of like the Boy Scout. He's clean cut, yada, yada, yada. Whereas, the black superheroes or
But Jefferson's a Boy Scout too, but Jefferson is black. So that's basically like the difference. Like they are still like Boy Scouts in there. I mean, this dude, he was like a school teacher, like a principal. So that he should love black. The point that I'm trying to make with him is that he should love Black Lightning. He should absolutely love Black Lightning by all accounts, but he is still like, he's okay.
Hey, nobody's perfect. That's all I'm saying.
Right, exactly.
So moving along. Okay, so we get this scene here.
That was great.
Yeah,
That's a
beautiful,
dope panel.
beautiful scene, man. You know what? If Brandon, I ain't never just asked nobody for something, but if your mans want to part with the original pages of that, tell him holler at your boy.
I'll ask him. I don't know if he's digital or he's on paper, so I'll ask him.
Yeah. So, but this is a beautiful panel. One of the things that Black Comic Lords kind of like wants to highlight is, panels like this here where we see Black superhero families, we see Black superhero love, that kind of thing. And so, they're getting ready to go back, to where Anissa is.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just, if you'd have just did this with no words, bro. Yeah, if you'd have just did this with just no words, whatever, I mean, that'd have been fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a great panel. I mean, what do you think about it, Paul?
Man, it's absolutely stunning. I mean, this is one of those panels that as you said, you literally don't even need any word bubbles on this. I hear music. That's how I know. For me, when the picture speaks to me, I can hear music when I see it, and I can literally hear music as I see Jefferson and Jennifer walking down this hallway in slow motion with the lights flashing behind them
on the watchtower.
I'm telling you, man, this is Fico's an artist, man. Fico is genuinely an artist, and he captures this. He as my daughter says, he ate this.
Yeah. And you get the thing that I love about this, you get the warmth.
Yeah.
You can see it, like you can feel the warmth between the two of them. Like, they're both kind of, a little messed up, a little worse for wear. It's been a hard day at the office, but you
confident,
can feel the warmth
confident.
and the connection
right.
between them. And damn if Jefferson doesn't get pulled away again. This time he's in it. This time I just, I don't want to say like I'm having fun with it, but this time like it actually happens like in Anissa's face. Like she actually has to see him leave her again, and he's just like, "Come on, man! Can I just?"
Yeah, the only thing that would have made us. I mean, you literally would have expected her to say, "Are you serious right now?"
Yeah,
that's the line that should have been added. Are you serious right now?
Yeah, no, it was great. And these are the little moments that really they really make comics like work. Like there is I don't want to devalue my own work, but the action stuff is easy. Like you can usually find that. Like you can usually kind of construct that in a way where it works. This is one of those. This is one of the moments I always love in a script, because I know that thinking up and then getting down the description for that big splash page with the monster and stuff in the in Hobbs Bay, that took forever. Like, all right, how many helicopters do we want? Like, what's the monster look like? Like, what's he doing? And kind of all of that stuff. But this panel probably took me like a minute. It was probably literally like, I think it's like Jefferson and Jennifer are walking down the hall. They're battle damaged, so we have some scarring, we got a little blood, and Jefferson says this, and it probably took absolutely no time. And then you get the pages back, and you're just like, oh, like that is so good. Like, and I barely spent any time on that like image, like thinking it up and typing it out. And then when it comes back, it's like, that's one of like the coolest moments of the entire issue. And, so that's one of those happy surprises.
Well, I was going to say that below that, on that same page, we don't have it on the screen, but Anissa kind of lets her dad have it.
Yeah.
But what I love about the next page or the next panel is, Jennifer's like, I'll get her home safe. Right. Don't worry, she didn't mean it.
She didn't mean it.
That's a beautiful thing, that she understands her sister, and he understands what she's going through, whatever, and she's covering for her. So that's beautiful, just to see sibling love like that. Because
I love that. And then I love the next scene where Anissa is just going on and on with it, and she's just like, you know what? I'm taking you to see Mama. Like I'm done. I'm not going to listen to you complaining, and whining to me all. I'm going to take you to see Mama, and then you can tell her about it. So
exactly why I love seeing this Black superhero family dynamic is, these are conversations that we hear in our own families, but with the superhero lens, it's so relatable. It's so dope to see that. And quite honestly, we don't get that. We don't get that.
Speaking of artists, Kanan White is in the building.
Hey, what's up, Kanan? Big fan.
I heard Kanan White wants to do a variant cover for Blacklightning.
Oh,
that'd be dope.
Love that.
I got a nickname for Kanan White. I call him Kanan White, because when you see his work, boy, be it's some good stuff, man. Love that dude stuff, bro. Shout out to him. He did some stuff for Eric July. That's nice, man. He's gonna be doing. I think I'm not sure if he's doing the Blood Ruth book, but he's done some stuff in Alpha Core. I want to say. That was amazing.
He says he's down with it. I can only look. Marquise
is in here somewhere.
Marquise is in here somewhere.
Or he's working on DC Power.
Reach out to Marquise, see if he can get you to do a variant on Blacklightning.
Open that checkbook. Don't be afraid to spend no money.
Don't be afraid. The price is right. The price is right. Yesterday's price will not be today's price, however.
Yeah. So, but this is why, before we keep going further, guys, please, if you have not pre-ordered Blacklightning, make sure that you do. This is a dope book. It's only 2 issues in. We've had the opportunity to look at issue 3 as well. I promise you. I promise you.
I'm just saying,
they need to know.
Got to that part. You already let them know.
The people need to know that this gets better. That this gets better. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you dig issue 2, you're gonna lose it when you see issue 3. That's all I'm saying.
Lose it
Do not tell Rich your secrets. It will be out immediately.
Look and see.
I can't wait to see
my man Kanan White he can get opportunity. If we can get this past the first story arc in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, we'll get all of the good stuff.
Yep.
So I need y'all out there to campaign when it comes to Blacklightning. Campaign, put this book on your pull list. Tell your friends about it. Buy an extra copy just on GP.
Buy it for a friend. Buy it for a relative. Buy a stack and give them to a school.
And when it goes to trade, make sure you grab the trade too.
Yeah.
So
very important.
But anyway, let's keep going, guys.
All right.
What we got, Paul? What we got? Oh, here we go.
Super villains got introduced. Tell us who these people are.
This is a new kind of version of an older villain group called the Masters of Disaster. Another great suggestion by Marquise, pulling digging in the crates, and they all of them have powers that are tied to the elements. So fire, water, earth, wind.
Okay.
You don't see Wind here. She shows up in the next issue and has a big role going forward. But front and center, leading this group, we kind of swapped out the leader. We put Volcana, and this is her first DC Comics appearance. She's a character from the Superman animated series. She has a whole episode. I forget if her name is actually the name of the episode, but that is where she made her initial appearance, and this is her showing up in DC proper in a kind of new expanded role. So this is their first appearance, and they are highly connected to kind of what's really going on in the story. So we were really excited for her.
Pericles Dragon Balls mentions, pull that back up. something. She originally was in the cartoon.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
This is her first appearance in comics.
Yes.
That's another reason why y'all need to pre-order these comics. My man giving you first appearances. This is now a Black comic key.
And that's Shakedown. This the big white guy over to her left. He has earth-based powers, and to her other side, that is a. She was initially called. That character in the Masters of Disaster was initially called New Wave. She has water-based powers, but we renamed her Groundswell. So
now, is she a Zebellian from like the Atlantis offshoot?
No, there's no connection. But
okay.
I mean, I could have thought of that actually. I have written some Aquaman stuff.
You're well, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
That's where I learned about Zebellians is from you. So, I just made the connection. Like I thought.
Oh, okay. See, I'm always doing that. Like I'm always reaching back. Like I'm always reaching back for Duke Thomas and just these other things that I've had the opportunity to touch in the past.
Let's just edit that part out and say yes, of course. I wrote a little series called Aquaman and The Becoming, and this is a Zebellian character that
I'll do that.
Just retroactively, just retroactively say that. I'm cool with that.
That's funny. So we get these guys to show up, but we close out the issue. Fantastic panel. Do we have that, Pop?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
Natasha Irons.
Yes.
And I gotta say, I was impressed with this page because I've seen Natasha in other stuff, but I've never seen her like, okay, she getting her real Iron Man stuff on.
Yeah. The suit. There's a line when she first shows up in this story because she's running this. She's basically running, I think, what we're calling Site B of Steelworks. So I believe that the main Steelworks is in Metropolis, but Site B is in Southside Heights. So she's running that, and Lynn Stewart is helping her run this facility that's for like metahumans and helping them control their powers and resources and in tech. So things of that nature. So there's a line when she first shows up where she says like, I am this building. And we wanted to make that like a living thing where the building, there's basically like a suit of armor. Well, here's the thing. There's probably actually several suits of armor that are hidden kind of inside of the building that she can call out and summon depending on the situation. And this is like the heavy duty. So this was fun because she's appeared in the books and the Superman books a lot, but we've never seen her like in a heavy duty, kind of like Hulkbuster type suit with like the giant hammer. And so, I definitely wanted to do that because it's the thing where I only had her for a couple of pages. So how can we make this appearance worth it? Like I really want something cool for her to kind of do or say in this kind of brief window that we have. So there's a couple of things. So when Jennifer is talking to the kid that turned into the monster, she tells him to compliment her shoes when he meets her. And then when we meet her in her kind of more civilian garb, she has on a lab coat, but she's also wearing a pair of Jordans. So just like kind of connecting, a few things to kind of, just make her appearance like more impactful, because that's the, writing comic scripts I always refer to them, it's problem solving. It's like all of these problems that you have to solve, and you only have 20 pages in which to do it. And to me, that's the most challenging aspect of actually writing a script, figuring out how long is this scene supposed to be? What is this character supposed to say here? Like, can we hit the moment where the character is doing something cool and saying something cool at the same time? So, it's all of these little, kind of problems that, you're constantly solving as you work your way through it. And, we wanted to, if the point of this Black Lightning series is to show you like Black Lightning in different environments and with different challenges than you've seen before, we also want to do that with our, kind of like our guest character. So we've never seen Natasha in the big armored, heavy, big hammer, steel suit. Her steel suit is always very like form fitting and
right.
So we wanted to come up with something different, and this was the idea we came up with. And once again, FICO just killed it. Fun fact: this page, I actually didn't give him a full panel to panel breakdown, because I do full script, so I usually do every single panel. I describe like what's happening in it. Sometimes I talk about camera angles, all that good stuff. But every once in a while, I'll have a page that I just kind of give the artist kind of like what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling about it. And I'll say, you decide how many panels are on this page. Like, you decide exactly how this is supposed to look, and let's see what happens. And this was one of those pages, what I call freestyle pages. Like, this was one of those pages where I just described to him, we just want to see like the pieces of her suit like coming out of the walls and the floors and everywhere, and then attaching themselves to her. And this is, this is what he sent back. This is what he came up with, and it is, amazing. And so I can't take credit for this one at all, because I just described like kind of what's happening, but I'm like, you decide how many panels you need to kind of make that work and how you want to lay out everything here. So
real quick, wanted to give a shout out. Joe Illich just popped in.
Yeah, I saw. What up,
Joe? It's weird. Like, all you guys should be. I mean, Joe, you should be working on some shadow cabinet stuff. Kane's out here working on the DC
cabinet issue too.
Marquise is supposed to be coordinating everybody's efforts.
Are you telling us we're all supposed to be working?
I appreciate y'all stopping by. But I need my comics to make sure that
that's funny.
I'm spending my bread on y'all, man. I mean, to make sure they're tight. But I appreciate you. I appreciate
all pages for DC Power. Marquise is working on. But
we're like doing covers.
We got BMW, baby, black men working over here.
That's right.
Everybody working.
Yeah, baby.
All right.
So. Now, that's pretty much that's not the last page of the book, but that kind of leads into the next issue.
We're missing a slide here.
Issue 3.
Issue 3.
That's the covers there.
Yep.
And they are amazing.
By FICO, and the variant, I believe, is by Joshua Sway, Jay Sway.
That's dope, man.
It's got a lot of Nubia vibes on that Sway variant, man.
Yeah. Yep. Dope.
It's absolutely dope.
That's all Marquise. Marquise, went out and got all these amazing artists to do variant covers.
And the thing is, that cover B looks like an incentive variant. It's so damn good.
Look, it's
nice. It's nice. I mean, look, I don't know if they're going to offer that in a variant. The version, but it probably will be. Ain't gonna cost you $3.99. It's gonna cost you more than that.
I'll take it. I'll take it for $3.99, no doubt.
Oh yeah. No, I think that one's $4.99. I think the card stock.
I'll pay the extra $1 for the card stock on that, because that's
and then issue 4 has an amazing Quran Grant variant. Quran is
my man.
I love Quran. I've been all about Quran since I first saw his artwork. I think the first time I saw it was probably on the series called Kaboom, put out by like Rob Liefeld's Awesome Entertainment. But we'll talk more about Quran with his.
I have Quran. First of all, shout out to Quran, my fellow man from Bakayad, for real. I have original art by him from his Titans Beast World Amanda Waller book, the
he's
splash
amazing.
page where all the black superheroes are on one page. I own the original art for that, so shout out to Kamal.
Yeah, he had some original art as part of the Epiphany Engine Kickstarter. Yes. And I was so tempted, but I was like, I can't do it. It's too much. I wanted to so bad though.
Yeah. But before we let you go, Brandon, can we show that last page?
Yes. Let's
we want to give you a taste
of the next
issue 3.
Yes.
We are foreshadowing.
Yes.
Something greater going perhaps down the road.
Now, remember I talked about that one panel you had with Jennifer talking about Natasha. I was like, man, that'd be a great idea to have all these young heroes on the same issue in the same book. And you did it. You were foreshadowing. You sly dog, you were foreshadowing. We got Cyclone, quick off of the Black Adam movie, Signal, Blue Beetle, my man Aquaman, Jackson Hyde, Stargirl, and Kid Flash mixed with Jennifer Pierce. You got a whole super team right here. Please, Marquise, if you're still here, bruh, please make this happen. Even if it's a damn one shot.
I'll take a one shot.
I'll take a one shot. We will help you promote it. I promise.
Here's what's cool about this particular page. So this was one of those pages that got kind of like pulled out of the script. So FICO had issue 3, but this page, even though it was page 1, he couldn't draw it immediately because we needed to figure out the right character mix for this page and like which characters were right. So we went, me and Marquise went back and forth about like different lineups for the characters that were going to appear here. And these are I think there was a version I wrote of this that had maybe like 9 characters and we kind of paired it back. So there was a lot of discussion about this particular page. And then FICO came up with this genius idea. So when we're talking about this, there was this question, are they in costume or out of costume? And so we went back and forth about, how that was going to work. And then FICO was like, why don't we do a mix? And that turned out to be like a genius idea. So we get this really different dynamic where you have some of them that are like in straight street clothes. You have some of them that are kind of like partially in costume. Kid Flash, he's got a little battle damage on him. So we wanted it to feel like, who's the character that like barely got to the Zoom call? Like which character was like late to the call because they were like in a fight or something? And that ended up being Kid Flash. So I love this page. It's one of the many things that I love about
this is DC's New Warriors. This is DC's New Warriors right here. And that was a huge hit in the 90s. Marquise, please make this happen. This is this is fire.
Yeah. But yeah, we really wanted to show again, like when we're talking about Jen, we wanted to show that like this is her life. Like she's used to this. Like she's got like, and as far as we know, she may have like 3 different groups of characters that she's like talking to and conversing with regularly. And so we just kind of really wanted to give that feeling, someone who is like fully accepted and embraced her kind of role within this world. And to me, it just made sense that a bunch of the young heroes would get together and just talk. I have like Zoom calls with my boys all the time. And it's like it's like an event, anytime we can actually carve out a couple of hours and just, talk about, old stories from college and stuff like that. So I wanted to give that same kind of feel to this.
That's what's up.
I'll tell you what, this is an amazing few panels that we're looking at. I'm telling you guys, issue 3 is going to blow your mind. That's all I'm gonna say.
Here's the other surprise.
It's Harriman again.
Yeah.
But speaking about
but
DC
he got somebody. He got to go to head to head with somebody though.
Josiah.
Speaking of DC Power,
yeah,
upcoming. Make sure y'all are pre-ordering DC Power if you haven't already. Tell us who this brother on the left is.
This is Josiah Power. There was a comic book series back in, I think it was the 2000s, maybe early 2000s, called The Power Company. And Josiah led, it was basically like a superhuman law firm. It was like a superhero team that was built around this kind of law firm paradigm. So so like the heroes were known as like associates or partners depending on their kind of level in the firm, and it was all led by Josiah, who was a big time metahuman himself, and he was also a lawyer. So this is kind of his first appearance in DC Comics in a while, and we're essentially setting up this kind of new version of the Power Company that is being kind of constructed, not in secret at DC because they know we're doing it, but it is kind of being slowly constructed. So we thought that the Black Lightning series would be the perfect opportunity for him to kind of make a return appearance and for him to go face to face with Jay Harriman, who is very much on the complete opposite side of this kind of metahuman issue that the world is dealing with in the wake of absolute power. So this is kind of like his first appearance in a long time, and then he is center stage in the DC Power special, and then he will come back to Black Lightning in a future issue. So it's all kind of connected, and I'm writing his story for the DC Power special. So that's already written and drawn. It looks amazing. Charles did the artwork for that. He's in the thread too. So
Charles Stewart III. Shout out to Charles Stewart III.
Yeah, he did an amazing job on this story, and we're really excited to start building this thing and kind of putting it out in the world and seeing how far it could get taken. So,
Brandon. The last 3 pages of this book, my man, look at Rich. Rich is chomping at the bit.
I'm going to talk about now we can't spoil that.
We can't spoil it. I would never do that to y'all, but let me tell you something. The last 3 pages of issue 3 will have you literally, I would suggest this. When you're reading this issue, do not hold it in your hands. Put it down on the table in front of you and turn the pages. Don't hold the comic book because you will grip your hands and wrinkle your comic book.
Don't have nothing. Don't have a glass of water or soda or next to you.
Yeah,
because you're gonna spill it.
The tension.
I'm so excited for people to that issue in particular has scenes in it that were in the initial pitch for this book. And I was like, I can't wait to write that scene. Like, I can't wait to script out that scene. And what FICO did with it is just amazing. And then there's what happens in 3, and then there's what happens in 4 after what happens in 3. So it's for us, it was really like a
Paul. Don't ask Paul. Don't ask Paul. Don't say it, Paul. They got to come back. We're gonna bring our man back. He gonna come back. We're gonna talk about it.
I'm gonna come back.
A little hint.
This guy here, man.
There you go. That is the cover to Black Lightning #4. So that's an
amazing cover. Who did that cover?
Fantastic cover. I mean, there's so much great stuff happening here. FICO's line work, Ulysses just killed the colors, just the reflection the lightning bolts in Jefferson's beard. I mean, just there is so much greatness just happening.
I need this in a poster. I need this in a poster. This needs to be a promotional poster. I will put this behind me. I need this as a poster.
Yeah.
I hope there's is it going to be a virgin cover, or is it going to be
no, this is the main cover.
So
this is the main cover. So this isn't the variant. The variant for this issue, I believe, is the Karan Grant cover.
I would just hate to see a trade dress mess up this image. This needs to be a virgin cover.
There will be some trade dress on it, but it's amazing. It is. Yeah. We were so excited. Like, because when we were doing the layouts, when FICO was doing the layouts for it, we went through like a couple of versions, couple of different versions, but we settled on that. Is that I see the Karan Grant there, and I think that might be another Ryan Benjamin cover. I think that may be the Black History Month.
Click on the big image.
Yeah, that's Ryan. Yeah,
click on the image itself. There you go.
Yeah.
Now you can scroll through them.
Yeah, that's dope too. Karan. I love Karan
that's crazy.
So much.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He's been doing a bunch of fantastic DC covers too. He had an amazing cover for Absolute Superman. I think it's issue 3, but you guys should definitely seek that out. He had a really cool John Stewart Green Lantern cover. So I'm really glad to see him doing, more interiors and covers, at DC, because he is fantastic. To me, he is one of those, definitely one of those bucket list artists that I am, he's done covers for some of, the books that I've done, but I will not leave this earth without having some, Karan Grant interiors in something. I just love him so much. But we'll talk more about him when we get to issue 4. Because we'll be here all night. So
yeah.
But issue 3. Issue 3. There are scenes in there that are like, I can.
Those last 3 pages.
Like, I know I can feel it. Like there wasn't a lot of second guessing. Like, I knew that I had it like pretty quickly. So, okay, cool. I haven't seen that one with the trade dress on it too. I also love what they do with the trade dress for the variants, where it's a lot more subdued. It's just kind of like a little button in the corner. So
I hope they do that with that issue 4 cover.
Yeah, I mean, they probably won't do it with the main cover. I don't know. We'll ask Marquise. It's probably too late yet. It's probably too late. But it's like, can we get like the smaller trade dress, for the issue 4 cover? So
you want to cover up artwork like that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But yeah, man. But yeah, issue 3, people are just they're gonna lose it. They're gonna lose it. There's a couple of scenes in there. There is a scene, with Jefferson and Anissa that is just, just takes that heart just pulls it just right out of you. So there's a lot of things that I'm proud of in issue 3. And we were saying this offline, I'm just the kind of person where I'm always pulling apart the work, and I'm always like, like I wish I could, I'm always watching tape, essentially, like after I finish the script, it's like, it took me too long to get there. It's too many panels there. Like, I crowded out FICO. But every once in a while, I'll write a script and I'll force myself to accept that it's good, that it's fine, that I didn't mess up, such and such page. And Blacklightning 3 is one of those scripts. It's one of those where I just kind of had to, okay, this is good. This is good. I got what I wanted. I did what I intended, and it's one that I'm very, very, very proud of. So I can't wait for you guys I can't wait for everybody else to read it in a couple of weeks. And there are some things in there that, again, it's like, have we seen this in a Blacklightning book before? I don't think so. Let's try it and see. And and see how it works out.
So Brandon, we have some rapid fire questions that we're going to go through.
I will answer them quickly, which is a problem for me, but I will do my best.
Dr. Wizard, let's hit up these questions. Any chance moving the family out of Metropolis like to Freeland? Well, has Freeland actually been introduced in the DC comics?
I don't think so.
Or was that just a television show?
I do not think that has actually been in the comics. So probably not in the immediate future, but maybe long term. Right now, it was briefly mentioned that Jefferson is basically kind of part of the Superman family in the DCU. I believe this book is run out of the larger Superman editorial group. But since, Suicide Slum, which is now called Southside Heights, is actually kind of like a neighborhood in Metropolis, he's going to be in that family for a little while. But if the book were to continue, I have some, I think, cool ideas for introducing Freeland in a different kind of context.
I hope it's still in kind of the Atlanta type of paradigm that it was in the series. That'd be kind of dope.
Yeah.
How is blacklightning crashing into ground, creating craters without metahuman durability?
We're kind of playing. We're kind of playing a little loose with that, to be honest, and kind of blaming like the power. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, he comes down like in a bolt of lightning, and the lightning kind of softens the impact, or like his suit. Or, he's really jacked now. That's why he did it, so that he can come down out of the sky.
He's juicing. Go ahead, Rich.
It's just kind of one of those kind of comic book things that, it's just like, it kind of looks cool. So as long as we don't get too like out of control with it, where he's kind of like slamming people into the ground, we're just kind of, it looks cool.
Brother Gary Davis says, Brother Thomas, I would love to see Jefferson get his doctorate and become president of a community college.
That would be dope. If the book continues, we have some interesting ideas about Jefferson going forward, both in the education space and also in the political space too.
Justice League Academy.
He worked for Lex Luthor when Lex Luthor was president.
Yeah, he was the Secretary of Education. I actually wrote a story about that. I don't know. I have to ask Marquise if we can actually reprint that in the trade. I would love to have that reprinted. But it's a really cool story where Anissa, I think it's Anissa or I can't remember. One of the girls is basically, basically giving him the business over the fact that he worked for Lex Luthor, and kind of like, how could you have done that, and why did you do it? And I thought the kind of Jefferson's rationale for that, I thought was really interesting, and that was what that story dealt with. I think the story was called "This Is Why," so it was kind of Jefferson explaining to her why he made that decision. So
comics are so,
we can reprint that.
Comics are so unrealistic. I mean, there's no way a supervillain could ever become president of the United States.
Funny.
Too soon?
But he says that Amanda Waller was right, though. Yeah, okay.
Just like Tony Stark was right.
So Kevin says, are the kids going to form a new super team with one of the girls as the leader?
Yeah, kind of.
That seems kind of spoilery based on the image that we just saw from the next issue.
I can't answer it, but there's like there's a part of that question that is kind of yes, but I can't tell you how.
Okay. Galactic says, will any metas created during the Lazarus event appear? I know that Doom Patrol was taking care of them prior to cancellation. Are those exploited metas still around?
As far as I know, they're still around, but they won't be appearing here. I think the biggest kind of like new meta that is being introduced in this book is Isaac Mitchell. So there are plans for Isaac to stick around, but for now, that's it. If we do more, that is some, we could expand the circle out and see if some of those characters introduced in Doom Patrol could work here.
What's Isaac's power set at this moment?
I haven't said that either.
You haven't said that either. Damn, I almost tricked you. I guess not. All right,
Gary Davis says, can we get Lynn and Jefferson back together?
No comment. Next question.
Nope. There we go. Next one.
I love the no comments. No comments are my best answers.
Would the Earth-based dude in Masters of Disaster immune to electrical lightning attacks because he is grounded?
Okay. That's an interesting idea. That could be possible.
I tell you what, you read issue 3. You will find out.
That's fun too. He has Shakedown has. We can't tell. I won't tell you who he's fighting, but Shakedown has some cool moments in issue 3.
And you don't realize how much of a pun that is. He just. You got to get issue 3 to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So right. if Shakedown fights Groundswell, will they create mud?
Ooh, Paul.
That actually will be a whole thing too, but I don't want to go too far in that. But
the Pericles says, did Brandon say groundswell or brown sweat?
I wish I said brown sweat. Now that seems much better, but no, brown sweat.
What else we got, y'all? Could Tasha be a potential love interest for Anissa?
It has been discussed, but in this series, we won't see that much of it. And this isn't a spoiler because she's on the cover for issue 5, but Grace will return.
Okay.
In a very
I was saying she's spoken for already. Dan Watson says, is there a way?
She's coming back. I'm not saying what the context is. She will appear.
Dan Watson asks, is there a way to work in Valzar or Calvin Ellis since Black Lightning is within the Superman world?
Oh, I would love to do that. I wrote a story with Calvin Ellis a while ago. I forgot, maybe like the Justice League Incarnate, like one of the stories that I think led into Justice League Incarnate. So I have written a President Superman story, and I actually had a really cool pitch for him that I don't know if I can get back to that, but we'll see. But it's been discussed, but not in this 5-issue set. But I do have some ideas for both of those characters potentially.
It'd be cool to bring back that. What was the name of that multiverse woman superhero in that Justice League Incarnate series?
Oh, I can't remember.
But you know what I'm talking about.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Eric Simmons says, will Anissa still be able to have superhuman strength and invulnerability while her current powers are altered?
That sounds like a spoiler.
Yeah, yes.
There we go.
All right. There we go.
I'm not changing that. I don't do I don't do less durability with Black superheroes. I do more durability. So
yeah, we need it.
What's happening with her powers is additive. It's not, we're not taking abilities away from her. We are giving her more abilities or slightly kind of escalated abilities. But no, never that. More power. I will. I don't know if I need to like write it down, but I will. I will never depower. Well, I will never permanently depower. A Black hero.
Those 2 words should be on your profile. Mo power. Mo power.
Never less power.
That's funny. So we got to get out of here. We do thank you, Brandon, for hanging out with us.
Vince White has a question. How do I pre-order?
Well, they answered. Joe Illich answered that. H&H answered that in the chat earlier. He got his answer.
Yeah.
But we will say this. Please, 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 if you have not pre-ordered the comic book Black Lightning, go to your local LCS, ask for it. Say, I want Black Lightning on my pull list. They put it, set it aside. It counts as sales toward the comic book. That's
and
why
they
we
know that
always
people want it.
yes.
And
And
maybe they will order more copies for their store. They have a bunch of customers they keep asking for it. Like, this is something that people want, so I'll order some more for my shelf.
absolutely. So again, Brandon, thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. We will be back with Brandon to talk
Oh,
about
boy.
number 3.
Issue
It's
3.
going to be a fire conversation.
Happy
so look forward to that.
Everyone.
Yeah, sometime in January. We want to thank you, Brandon, for hanging out with us. Thank you for being gracious with your time.
Oh, come
Guys,
on. I love it.
We want you to hang out with us. We're going to come right back. We're going to run a commercial break. Then we will start the show over. We'll have Wednesday wrap-up. That's where the squad get together, and we're going to chop it up. We're going to talk about what came out today, like Shadow Cabinet, among other things. So, yeah, y'all come back and hang out with us. Again, thank you, sir, for all that you've done.
Thank you. Appreciate
and
it,
all
folks.
that you're doing.
I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Dr.
Absolutely.
Wizard, why don't you bring us out with the e-viewing pre-order commercial for Vince White? Black Comic Lords, we got you.
All right.
Comics are different. Those things cannot be returned if they do not sell. Okay, so that means that if they buy 10 copies of Monica Rambeau Photon and nobody buys it, they eat that money. And your local comic shop is, the margins are very thin, right? Times are hard for everybody. And so what that means is that it gives comic shop owners incentive to be very risk averse, right? And so you could order a bunch of Batman and you know that every month people are going to come in and buy Batman. It's often characters of color, new characters, lesser known characters where they're like, I don't know, this could be good, but if I put this on my shelves and people don't buy it, I lose money. And I'm sympathetic to that. That's a real assessment that they have to make. So the way that we avoid that is you go in and you pre-order. So Paul goes in 3 months before the comic set comes out and says, hello, I would like to pre-order Monica Rambeau Photon #1. I'm not going to wait till it comes out. I'm telling you now that I want it. And at that point, they're like, okay, let me go ahead and order this. And in the comics world, that is the sale that counts. By the time you come into a store and purchase a comic book, that sale does not count. I know it is ridiculous. It is very silly. That is the way it is. The sale that counts is when the store orders it from the distributor. That is what they are counting. And so what that means is that when you go in and you pre-order things, it actually gives that store confidence. Like, okay, Paul said Paul's going to be back and spend his $5 on this book. So we're good. If we order this one, we know it's going to sell and we can pay our rent. We're not going to be eating this cost this month. The best thing to do is your subscription or your pull list where you go in and you say, I want you to put these in every month for me, right? And then they will set that aside in a box.
Message.
It's the Wednesday wrap-up show. Where's Angel?
Oh, she'll be on the way, hopefully. Yeah. What's up?
Going on.
That was a good interview. A really good interview.
Yeah,
I'm fired up about what's in the future for Black Lightning.
Absolutely. They got to go right forward, man. And I could be no more proud.
Yep. Writer
Brandon
and
Thomas is doing the thing on that book for sure.
And interior artist too. Both of them doing
This was a DC night, man, with Kanan White coming through, Marquise Draper coming through, Joe Illich coming through.
Yep.
All these guys, all these brothers working some great projects.
Let's get the shenanigans out the way.
We have shenanigans again.
Moment of silence for former Marvel editor, Nate Moore.
Producer. He's not editor. Producer. I would just simply say that Mickey Mouse picked up his pistol, loaded a nice big round in it, and fired slugs. And made it, like say, hit the door, Jack. Don't let the dog bit you. With a good Lord split you. was he fired or did he quit? I heard he quit because he wanted to do indie stuff. That's like saying, I wanted to quit because I wanted less money and more free time.
I don't know about that. I mean, Marvel's like the top of the hill. You know what I'm saying? You just leave the top of the hill. It sounds noble. It sounds noble. It really does.
Yeah.
It sounds noble, but we don't know.
I will tell you this. In my job, in my profession, my counterparts that work for Disney don't leave. People don't leave Disney. They retire from Disney.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
That little mouse is something else. Speaking of little mouse, I haven't had an opportunity yet, but I'm gonna go and watch the Spook That's Set by the Door episode of Atlanta.
I watched it the other week.
I mean, you know, I've been jonesing for an Atlanta fix, and I watched. I can't remember what episode it was, but I watched the episode recently. It wasn't like it was like I'm gonna say it was season 2, but I'm gonna have to go back and watch the Goofy movie.
We should do a top 10 episode list for Atlanta on one of our Wednesday.
FX has been doing like little clips of various scenes from that show, which I swear they have episodes of that show that could be taught in college classes in terms of how deep and significant the discussions are on the shows.
Yeah, people are starting to do podcasts and you know, episodes about the show itself. Because like you say, it's so rich with so many different things in it. I was listening to one not too long ago, and they were talking about Darius and how Darius as a character is kind of like you could literally do the show Atlanta without Darius, but because Darius is just there, you know, he's an integral part of the show, and which is why they literally made him the focus of the last episode. And it's almost like the show itself really is a reflection, even though you're learning about Earn, you're learning about Letty, you're learning about Paperboy. The show is really through the lens of Darius. And you know what I'm saying? He's just a hilarious character. He's done some very funny things. His Teddy Perkins. Have you ever seen that episode, Paul?
I've seen all the episodes.
And that Teddy Perkins, I'm just, if you've never seen, just go to Atlanta, type in Teddy Perkins and just watch it. You will be thoroughly entertained.
You don't have to watch any of the other series to watch that episode.
Yeah, it's a one-off, literally. Yeah. So, but yeah,
particularly those later seasons, a lot of those episodes were just standalone short films that had nothing to do with anything.
Yep. Yeah. They are, man. I just kind of wish that they could have kept it going, but I understand the business is the business, and you know, I wouldn't say that he ran out of ideas. Because clearly he was on one that season 4. Season 4 was perfect, bro.
Yeah.
Season 4 was perfect. I mean, I think they left some stuff on the table, bro. It was just that good.
Did I read somewhere they're gonna make a movie, or is that just my imagination?
I would not. I would not be mad at that if they did. I would not be mad at that. I would not be mad at that. That would be all right.
A movie would basically be like 4 episodes.
So yeah, comic books, man. What's been going on since we've been going? We haven't had a Wednesday wrap-up show in a minute, man. Some stuff been happening behind the scenes. That's for certain. All I'm gonna say is that, you know, I say, peace go with your brother. In the immortal words of Gil Scott-Heron, peace go with your brother. That's all I'm gonna say. But no, we've had a lot of interviews lately. Rodney Barnes, Dennis Cowan, who
Nathan
else?
Martinez.
Yeah.
Joe Illidge.
Yep.
Dennis Cowan.
Yep. Had quite a few. Chillmonger, what's going on, bro? He brings up the comic shop Kickstarter got funded.
What's up?
I and here's the thing about the comic shop. It could be funny, but it also can tank. So I hope y'all bring the funny, because we don't want to see it and then it'd be like, man, okay, we but clearly some people believe in that project, which is, that wasn't $50 that they was asking for, 6 figures, but they got it. And
Trailer was dope.
So shout out to them and continued success.
I have my black comic lord variant shirt on.
I see. You really can't see it, but yeah. We got to get with the guys, Jay and Otis, and figure out, how we're gonna roll this out. 2025 is gonna be an exciting year. Stay tuned, guys. We have some stuff cooking, and I will just go ahead and put this out here without even just talking about it. But we're probably going to be doing a Patreon in 2025. So
that's what I talk about when I say you can't hold secrets for nothing.
Well, I mean, they know that was going to eventually come down the pike, but I'm saying it's going to happen in 2025. But what I'm getting at is, just for your information, we want to offer some more content, but some more exclusive content. So that's coming. Look forward to that. Now, when is it going to? It may be late 2025, but yeah, you can set your clock by it, So Patreon is coming.
We will be doing some recruiting.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. We need some more bodies on this team, bro. 2025 is coming to a close. I'm not sure if we're doing an end of the year show or not. If we are, great. If not, what I'm saying, I'm just gonna say I am happy, and if I get to see the end of the year and see 2024, 2025, I'll be glad. Because this year was trash. a lot of great things happened in this year, but a lot of trash happened in this year too. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be talking about all the shenanigans that happened in 2024 real soon. Cat Williams, Prophet Cat Williams, No Lies but Detected. That's you go back and you watch that Shannon Sharp interview and you look at where we are, bruh. I'm like, bro, it is, you know what? I'm hoping that shout out to Amir. He says, can't wait to see how Cat Williams kick off 2025. If you're a hip hop head, you look forward to Skills wrap up, or Uncle Murder's wrap up. I'm looking forward to the next Cat Williams. That's what I'm looking forward to. Oh man, it's been crazy, y'all. It has been crazy. So, but yeah. Shout out to my man Amir. My man Amir is back on the mic finally. Thank you, sir. Dropped an episode recently. You know what I'm saying?
He did.
Yes. Okay. Amir is back in the studio doing his thing again. Dropped a new episode just recently. I told my brother, I said, man, look, you messing with my Monday morning commute. I used to have that on my way to work, and it takes me the whole ride. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad my man's back doing what he does best, podcasting. So shout out to 1 in 100 Podcast.
That's my favorite commute podcast to listen to.
Jill said, I can't believe Skills retired. Well, you know, some people get, you know, hey, he milked that cow for what it was worth. And I guess it's time for him to wrap it up, literally.
Can't be mad forever.
No. Well, you know what? I don't know. Maybe you can. Lord knows we know some people.
Don't start. Don't start.
Peace go with you, brother. That's all I'm gonna say.
I ain't trying to look what's underneath my shoe, dude.
Yeah. We you know, it's been a wonderful, you know, I'm being facetious when I talk about the year, but it's been a dope year. It really has. Atlantic Comic Con, all the, you know, things going on with the flood and all that. We was happy to be a part. Looking forward to being a part of 2025. The sky's the limit, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
And we have stuff coming up. Joe Illich was in the house tonight. I don't know if he's still here. We're gonna be interviewing Joe on Sunday, this Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to talk about Shadow Cabinet #2, which dropped. We'll go ahead and talk about that. I'm not gonna talk about it tonight because we got a whole show dedicated to that episode. Book is fire.
Milestone.
If you're a milestone head, you can't tell me that you're not enjoying this run. Everybody needs to be pre-ordering this book. I need to bring Milestone back. It is my personal journey in life to somehow do whatever I can in my power, not that I have any power, to bring Milestone back on the shelves on a monthly basis. That would make me happy.
So 100 says, how do you feel about the trailer dropping tomorrow? What trailer? Which trailer dropping tomorrow?
Superman.
Oh. I don't know, man. I mean, I really can't say because
happy birthday, Hype Style.
Yeah, happy birthday. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, man, you don't know what you get with James Gunn. Well, I take it back. Yes, you do. You know what you get with James Gunn. I'm hoping that he doesn't make the Boy Scout a thug. I hope he doesn't, you know, do something crazy in the movie. You know, the Creature Commandos animation, dope show, whatever, but definitely not kid friendly. You don't want to watch that with your kids. Yeah. It's James Gunn. I'm looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? I saw something today on the internet talking about Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific supposedly have a significant role in the movie.
Right.
And so that's going to be cool, you know what I'm saying, to see, you know, Mr. Terrific, you know, on the big screen. I'm looking forward to that for sure.
The thing is that they said James Gunn was quoted as saying, this will not be a lead-in for other spin-off series. Did you see that quote?
Not a lead-in.
Yeah, like he's not using this as a way to make spin-off series. Is what he said.
Well, you know, I mean, listen, I don't know. He's not Zack Snyder. You know what I'm saying? Where I think he's trying to do like a whole universe type deal. If he's saying that, you know what I'm saying, that this is not going to lead into something else, and that, well, maybe he's doing a bunch of one-ups. I don't know. It's kind of, that's, you know, I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? Either way. But at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, what does that mean, James? Does that mean that when the credits roll, I don't need to stay behind to see something, an end credit scene?
All I need to know is that Mr. Terrific, who is a dope character, gets proper treatment. I'm not even calling it a Superman movie. I'm calling it a Mr. Terrific movie. It's kind of like how it was with the Marvels. I don't care about the Marvels. I care about Monica Rambeau. It was a Monica movie for me. As weak as that may be. I hope they do portray Mr. Terrific correctly. All we've seen is the images. They got the costume down perfect. It's not my number one choice for the actor to play Mr. Terrific. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'd love to see Mr. Terrific. This lead to a Mr. Terrific series or another film with just Mr. Terrific as a lead. Maybe do a Terrifics movie with the whole, team. That would be cool.
Would be. But I think after Superman, I'm not sure when the Lanterns is going to start rolling or whatever, but I do think that's like kind of the next thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking. The biggest thing that I've seen James Gunn say he's going to do. I'm actually looking forward to the Wonder Woman Mascara type movie or series that they're going to do, because it's supposed to be.
I hadn't even heard of that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be kind of patterned after Game of Thrones.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
And
So
so
it takes place in the past?
Yeah, this is not even Diana Prince. This is just
Her mother, Hippolyta?
Yeah, I'm thinking that's who it's gonna focus around or whatever. But yeah, it's supposed to be a Game of Thrones type show, and I'm here for that. All the shenanigans to go with that. So
it'd be cool
if they
incorporated
James
the
Gunn.
gods.
Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
So we got that coming down the pike. Paul, how have you enjoyed Skeleton Crew?
I haven't watched it yet.
What? Hold up, wait a minute. Time out.
Yeah, that's one you can watch with that's one you can watch with your daughter too.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kid friendly. You can watch that with your daughter.
The Star Trek, Star Wars nerd of the BCL universe.
That's me.
Has not seen Skeleton Crew.
Oh well.
I've been busy, man.
That's a first.
Look.
That's
November, December is actually my busiest time of year at work. I shouldn't even be here talking to y'all right now. I should be working.
Well, you get to
making some bread to buy some of these damn comics y'all keep shoving in my face.
Hey, watch it. But no, real talk. Skeleton Crew is pretty good. You definitely want to enjoy it. That's something that you can hang out and watch it with your daughter. It's
I'm gonna try next week. My daughter's her winter break starts on Friday, after Friday. So that gives me, the first couple days before Christmas and the Christmas break to spend some time binge watching some stuff with her. So that was kind of my plan as to why I didn't watch it.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Good.
But it's good. It's kid friendly. Got some questions. It's loading up some questions you really want to know about.
Would someone who's not watched like the previous Star Wars films be able to follow it?
Yeah, easily. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And it's in a completely different place, so you don't have to have the whole background. If you know about the Star Wars universe, then you might recognize some Easter eggs, and there's other subtext that's happening. But you don't have to be a Star Wars fan or to know anything about Star Wars, especially if you're a kid, to just jump right into this.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised when I started watching it, and I gotta say, what I'm saying, I don't watch all the kid-friendly Star Wars stuff that there is, has been, but I gotta say, I said, well, they drop, because this is what companies are doing now. They not dropping just one episode; they drop 2 episodes at the same time, and that kind of goes as a credit, because what happens is that the viewerships on some of these shows dwindles after the first episode. Right. So the companies are saying, hey, we're just going to get you with 2 episodes, and it looks better on the spreadsheet, what I'm saying, as far as, viewership watching, that kind of thing. So, but no, this has been a very, very good show. I have not seen anybody say anything negative about the show, which is good. The fanboys are not talking about it. So anytime the fanboys are not talking about it, it must be pretty good.
I like the casting they did on the kids too, because I just feel like real kids, they have a good chemistry among them. So
yeah, absolutely. So we got that Creature Commandos, of course. Have you watched any of that, Paul?
Nope.
Oh man, you behind.
I don't get to watch television. Look, you know what I've been doing? I've been binge watching. I was telling Mark this the other day. I have been binge watching the television show on Netflix that Netflix has indicated this show will leave Netflix on December 31st. So make sure you watch it before it leaves. So I've been binge watching the entire series of Friday Night Lights.
Oh, okay. That's
I
a good series.
forgot.
That's a good
I
series.
forgot how good a series that was.
Yeah.
That was an absolutely fantastic series.
Yeah.
Once you get past a couple weird things, but yeah.
There has not been a lot of things to go watch as far as stuff at the movie theater. It's
So here's
weird, man. I have not
Craven.
seen.
Did anyone
Man,
go watch this?
I'm not
Craven?
going to watch. And that's weird to me. Craven, Venom 3.
Nobody asked for these movies.
Nobody asked for, and that's probably why I'm not going to see them.
Who are these people in Hollywood making these decisions, saying, you know what, I'm gonna make a movie nobody asked for because I think people will watch it? Like, what about the last film that you did
Now
in Venom 2 made you think Venom 3 was a good idea?
Now I'm not to disagree with you, Louisiana Kid, on Transformers 1. I thought Transformers 1 was pretty good. A very good origin story. Is it good as like the old Transformers stuff? Maybe not, whatever. But for a origin story, I thought it was pretty dope.
Yeah.
So and what I like about it is that no humans are in that movie. It's all, robots, Autobots, and Decepticons. So, and aliens. So, yeah. Yep. So but there's nothing at the theater. I mean, I didn't even go see Gladiator. The last movie I saw was God, what's the name of the movie? It was about the Pope. Conclave. That was a pretty good movie. Suspense, intrigue, or whatever about the election of a pope. I'm not Catholic, but I enjoyed just the story and all of the scandal that goes along with that. It was pretty good.
Amir says, I found out yesterday Sony is making money off of all these terrible movies, so they are going to keep making them. I don't know how they're making money off of them, but I will say Sony right now is about trying to maintain their rights to the Spider-Man characters. They literally have to make movies, or else Marvel will have the ability to seek to get the licensing back from Sony. So they're under obligation to make the movies, even though they're terrible. It's probably a tax write-off.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, as far as the stuff in the theaters, man, there has not really been a lot of stuff. Joker 2 is finally on streaming.
I never even watched Joker 1.
You never saw the first Joker?
You never saw the first Joker?
Was Batman in it?
No.
That's why I didn't watch it.
Bruce Wayne is in it as a kid.
I want Batman though.
Well, I think you will enjoy it.
No Batman. That don't make no sense.
It's good.
The only exception to that rule is Penguin, which was a fantastic series.
Yeah, if you like Penguin, I think you like Joker, because both of them are kind of gritty, and when Joker is set, it's like you're watching a late 70s movie.
I gotta be honest, man. Joker was so gritty, I had to take a shower. I mean, it was real.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they dressed up Gotham like the lowest part of New York, bro.
Yes.
I mean, it was, yeah, man.
And you know what? You knew it from the beginning when they showed what was it? What was the logo? The movie logo. They did the old school logo for Warner. Was it Warner Brothers?
Yeah, I think
old
so.
School Warner logo popped up. I was like, oh shoot, they're playing all in on this.
Yep. Huh. I mean, but the Penguin was very good, very disgusting, very disgusting ending.
Yeah, I mean, how my man got dealt with at the end was Damn, that hurt my soul a little bit. I must
You,
admit.
you got reminded that villains were villain.
Yeah.
Villains will be villain.
Amanda Waller never would have done that.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. I don't know. All I know is that, you know, and for those of you that have not watched The Penguin, I'm sorry, but I'm going to spoil it. If you hadn't watched it, that show been gone and done with for months on end already. So suffice to say that one of the most likable characters in the movie, in the show, gets deleted. And what does he do? He takes the dude's wallet, opens it up, throws it in the river. I'm like, bruh, this man been holding you down. And that's how you do it. I guess some people can't go to the next level with you.
That made me big mad, honestly. I felt the level of betrayal. Like the amount, it was a great scene because you see the expression on his face as he's getting choked out.
Yep.
And you see him feel like, why are you doing this?
Yep.
I literally love you. Why are you doing this? He's literally shocked. And you as a audience person is watching this is shocked too. Like, yeah, I agree with his expression. Why is this happening right now? What's happening?
He had a whole bunch of chances to get out of that situation.
Yep. I was thinking to myself, I kind of wish that they would have, like, when he was choking him out, that they would have showed a scene with him, like, thinking about his life, and that scene where his girl is leaving.
Right.
And how he could have left and went with her or whatever.
Could have been chilling in California right now.
Fast Willie says, I don't think he's dead. Oh no, bro, he gone.
He gone. He got choked the hell out.
You would not see him in the next Penguin movie.
That was wrong. That was wrong.
Too soon.
That was wrong. Oh God.
That was an Easter egg for those who don't. He said he won't be back.
This is what happens when the orange one becomes president again. This is what we get. Is this your king?
This your king? Yeah. Oh my goodness, man. But I mean, just the stuff that's come out, I guess, it's been okay. But man, it's kind of hard. It's been a letdown since Penguin left, bro. I mean, it's not really been like.
Well, there's some other shows. Lioness. Look, Taylor Sheridan universe. You just can't go wrong with that. With Yellowstone and Lioness.
Didn't the season for Yellowstone just end?
Yeah, I haven't watched the last couple episodes.
I have not watched anything of the season this year because, and the reason why I guess I haven't, because I'm kind of irritated that Costner's not there.
You'll be really irritated when you watch the very first episode of this season.
Well, I mean, I know what happened, but it's just that he was the main reason why I started watching the show.
Yeah,
and so for the stuff that's going behind the scenes and him not committing to wanting to do it or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, because he was trying to get more money or whatever it is. And that's the one thing about these shows that's interesting, is that you could literally do a new show, right? And like season 3, if a show makes it to season 3, that's when these actors and actresses think the bag is coming, or the bag is supposed to be coming. So it's not in these studios' interest to keep some of these characters in the show or some of these shows going, because they know they got to pay them.
Yeah.
Louisiana Kid said that Jackal 10 out of 10.
Dune. Yeah, I heard Jackal was a 10 out of 10. Mark said it was a 10 out of 10. The new Dune series, Prophecy, I think something like that is called. That I haven't watched that yet, but I'm looking forward to watching that. There's a lot of good stuff to watch, man. There's a lot of good. You know what amazes me in watching, because I said I was binge watching Friday Night Lights. We have gotten so used to the concept of binge watching these shows that are only like 8 to 10 episodes.
Mhm.
Whereas just 10 years ago or so, 15 years ago, we had like 20 something episode series.
Yep.
Like that
Not
was
no
the
more.
norm.
Not
Yep.
no
That's why it's
more.
taken me so long to binge watch this 5-year series,
And
and
it
it's
was
like 22 episodes every
in each season would come the next year too.
right.
And these things are spread out more now.
Yeah, like actors got it kind of good right. Hollywood got it good right now in terms of, well, we can make a whole series, make it only be 8 episodes at
But
an
the
hour each.
but the writing, the production quality is a lot better now.
That's
Like
true.
and you have, I don't know how it was like back in the day, but I'm pretty sure you had the same director for every episode back, more often back then. And now you have different directors for every episode of
Yeah,
a
every
lot of the
episode's
big
like a
name
little
shows.
mini movie.
hmm
Yep.
Going back to Yellowstone, the lady who plays Beth, I watched the first 3 seasons before I saw an interview with her and realized she's British.
British, yeah.
And there's some characters, you'd be surprised to know their actors are British, and she's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Never would have guessed that.
Those well-trained British actors will fake you out every time.
hmm
Amir says, I'm
Yeah.
watching Reacher right now.
I
Cross.
watched the first season of Reacher. It was cool. Cross is pretty good. Cross is pretty good. Yeah, Cross is pretty good. That's Aldrich Hodge. When I first heard that he was doing Alex Cross, all I thought of was the Tyler Perry, Alex Cross. In fact, even though it's the same character, whatever, but
Right.
it's a pretty good show. Yeah, it's a pretty good deep thriller type show. I think people will enjoy. I did enjoy Cross. I gotta say the Cross was dope. So I'm
Rich,
just trying to find.
did you watch Wicked?
Yes.
No, I did not.
I
have
saw
not
that with
seen.
my daughter. She absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's a very well done movie.
Yeah. Same with my daughter. I guess she was home on break when for Thanksgiving when it came out, so we got to watch that together. So yeah, definitely enjoyed that.
Shout out to my daughter. Let me tell y'all the story. So I take my daughter, it's 2016, my daughter's 5. We go to New York for a family reunion, and we want to take her to a Broadway play. So we go to see Matilda on Broadway.
Hmm.
And you have these young kid actors on the stage. We had pretty good seats, pretty close to the stage. My kid's 5. She's never been to a play before. And they have the scene where the kids are all revolting against the headmistress, and they're standing on the tables, and they're got their hands up going, yeah, against the teacher, the headmistress. My 5-year-old daughter stands up on her chair, fired up, and goes, yeah, at the top of her lungs, with this look of joy and excitement on her face and a fist raised in the air. And literally everybody around in that area where we were sitting was just like clapping and laughing, and just, they all saw her and heard her. It was one of my proudest moments as a father. It's just one of those memories that just made an impression. So my daughter also is, she's shy. She's not shy, but she doesn't like public speaking. She doesn't, she's stage fright is definitely would be a thing with her. And she surprised me a month ago and said, hey, Daddy, I'm going to try out for theater. First, she signed up for theater class, which was a shock. But then she signed up for a play. And she signed up for it because it was Matilda. They're doing Matilda, which was the first play that she saw, and she enjoyed watching the movies and stuff. So long story short, She was nervous about auditioning. She did it anyway, overcame her fear of public performing, and she got the role of Hortensia. And last night, we got to see her perform. And full circle moment, she's doing the exact same scene where she stood on the chair when she was 5 and raised her hand, the fist in the air, and said, "Yeah!" And I got to see her do that, but on the stage as a character last night. And that was a dope moment, man. I'm still smiling from ear to ear as I think about it. Just one of my proud for Papa moments last night, man.
Congratulations.
That was cool.
Absolutely.
That was cool.
Congrats. Yeah, man.
It's great being a girl dad, man. It's
Well,
great
you
being
know,
a girl
it's interesting. Like I say, enjoy it. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Because when they get older, it changes.
Yeah.
It just changes. Not. It doesn't have to necessarily be bad or whatever, but it just changes. I remember I was in an elevator. I was at a children's hospital, and this dad got on the elevator with his daughter, and they were, I guess she had just seen it. I think she was the athlete, and they had just left the office, doctor's office, whatever. And I just kind of discerned that they were, you know, father and daughter. And so I just asked, I said, you know, it's your daughter? I asked the guy, I was like, yes. And I just told him, it just came out of me. And I asked, I said, are you guys close? And he said, yeah, we are. And I just told him, I said, just keep it that way. Just keep it that way. And it was not something that I myself personally have gone through, but it was a message to him. And I believe it. I believe it was God that, you know, told me to tell him that. But I remember the smile on his face when I said that to him. It is something special about having, you know, being a girl dad. Like Brandon was talking earlier about, you know, with Jefferson Pierce. It's so different because if you have sons, you know, everybody wants to have somebody that takes this, you know, forwards their name and they can pal around with and all of this stuff, right? But it's different when you have a daughter because you have to, especially if you were a whore.
Oh my God.
If you were a male whore, the last thing you were worried about is protecting someone's virtue. So now it's kind of like, okay, hey, remember them days, all them lies you told those girls? Well, here's karma for you.
Yeah.
But you know, you live, you learn, you grow, right? And so it's just different. So those times, like for me and my daughter, my you know, like I said, I'm dating myself. My daughter in our movie was The Lion King, the original Lion King.
Right.
We saw The Lion King in the theater probably a dozen times. And saw it on video, had the VHS tape, you know, wore that tape out, probably bought another one or whatever. But that was our movie. And so, and we had seen other movies, you know what I'm saying? But most times that I was in the theater with them movies or whatever, I'm going to sleep, bro. You know, she'd wake me up, the movie. It'd be like, was it good? Like, I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? You spend these times with, you know, with your kids and you have those moments, and it's nothing like it, man. It really isn't. So shout out to all the fathers out there spending time with their children. But it's a little different when you have a girl, because girls, they be wrapped around your finger.
Yeah.
You know, and so those bonds and that you get when you're younger, or whatever, the movies that you share with, the culture that you're able to create. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the unique thing about our squad, BCL squad. Derek has girls, Paul has a girl, I have a girl. We're all girl dads. I don't think. Do we have any sons? I don't think any of us have any sons.
No, Derek has
Derek
a son.
has a son.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one boy, one girl, both in college right now.
Okay, so we got one boy. One boy in the building
right now. Derek empty nesting right now.
Yeah.
How's that adjustment going for you, man?
Oh, it was the when my son left for college, that was a little bit rougher. You know, I'd say more for my wife than for me. And when my daughter left, you know, it was very smooth. Even though, you know, my wife, my daughter, they have a very special relationship, but it's been pretty smooth. Yeah, but it's good to have them both back in the house right now for the holidays.
For winter break, yeah.
Yep. And when she came home, she's at the University of Vermont, which is a long way from here. She came home and she said, "Hey, I think our men's soccer team is in the national championship game." I was like, "Oh, where's the game at?" Because I know they're usually down the road from us, you know, in North Carolina. So we checked. Definitely, it was there. We said, "Let's go." So we took off Tuesday night or Monday night and went to watch that game. The winning goal was scored right in front of us, just a few yards away from us. You know, got to celebrate with the crowd. Great game, good time. Enjoyed that time.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Chillmonger says now we can create the Powerpuff Lords.
There you go. Yep.
I mean, look, man, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can go with kids. You got to deal with all that stuff. Powerpuff Girls. My kid, I'm trying to think, what was my kid's deal? What was Ashley's deal? My kid was more of a reader than anything, though. She watched a few cartoons, but you know, our relationship was books. I had that girl reading books at 3.5. Learning. You're gonna learn, you know, you're gonna pick up this habit. I got this habit, you're gonna have it too. So, you know what I'm saying? But the weirdest thing is she doesn't mess with comics at all. At all.
Same with mine. Yep.
Yeah. That's just bizarre to me. It's like all the things that I love and adore, I'm thinking this is no. And Paul, you would probably be proud of this. My daughter, you know, buying, you know, Christmas presents or whatever. I have a Black Panther bank that my daughter gave me.
Oh, that's what's up.
The first comic book geek thing she's ever bought me for like my birthday. You know, she bought me a little bank. So it sits literally right behind me.
I have the exact same bank.
Yeah. Next to my Wakanda Forever popcorn tub. Speaking of,
I need to go to Ollie's and get that omnibus, man, for $35.
Man, look, shout out to all of y'all that paid that $39.95 for that $125 omnibus. That's a deal.
I need to get that omnibus.
Yeah, I've been stocking up on trades and omnibuses lately, myself.
They're good to have on the shelf for real.
Yep. You know what? I picked up some stuff recently. I'm trying to think. What I have. Illegal. Have you ever heard of that before, Paul?
Illegal? No.
It's called Illegal. It's about some Africans who escaped to Europe. I think to Western Europe, I want to say. They didn't come to America, they went to Europe and they, you know, crossed into Europe or whatever to get away from the Civil War in Africa. I picked it up recently. I haven't read it yet. It's just kind of sitting on my bookshelf. This came out today as well. I don't know if you guys saw this.
I
saw JT talk about it. James Thomas, he was talking about this book.
What is that called?
Earlier. Freddy the Fix.
No, I haven't heard of that.
Garth Ennis book. So there's JT right there. Yeah, but he talked about that. That was on the new comic book day report. So it's a one shot. I want to see. Yeah, it's a one shot by Image.
Who's the writer and artist?
Yeah, Garth Ennis and Mike Perkins.
Mike Perkins. Okay.
Yeah. So that came out. Some other stuff too. Power Fantasy #5 that came out.
Looking forward to that. Why don't you pull that up, Derek? There are a list of books that came. Wasn't a whole lot that came out this week, but there was some stuff that came out.
Yeah. Spawn, a few Spawn books came out this week. Absolute Batman #3 came out this week too.
How was it, Rich?
I have not read any of my pulls.
Yeah, today's new comic day. We can't expect to read everything today. But
Can we talk about before we get to this? Before we get to this, can we talk about what's going on with Diamond? Diamond has been they're moving, or they're in the middle of transitioning distribution centers or whatever. But for the last month or two, people have been getting their books from Diamond late. I was supposed to get, matter of fact, I was supposed to get my Thorn issue #4 today. But went to the shop. Oh, Diamond's late. Like, really? So, but they have been having issues with getting their stuff to the shop on time. So I was curious if you guys have heard anything or have had that experience with some of your pulls. I know you get your stuff online, Paul. But what about you, Derek?
DC's going through Diamond, right? And then Marvel's going through
Penguin.
Random House.
Lunar. Penguin and Lunar.
Okay. I was in a comic shop like one town over from me over the weekend, and I was talking with a guy there. I was asking him questions about, Stranger Comics and some of the other indies that you can get, through distribution. And he was basically telling me I can't do Diamond anymore. He said he doesn't even buy DC anymore because they're so tough to work with. And
no, I think DC's not part of Diamond anymore. I think they're with Lunar.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Lunar. And I think Marvel is with Penguin.
Okay. All right then. So maybe it's Lunar he's having issues with. But I thought it was Diamond because that was the same reason he couldn't get Stranger Comics. He said that distributor's too tough to work with.
Yeah. Diamond is distributing through your Stranger Comics, your Advent, a lot of your independent stuff that they're doing. They've kind of got the lion's share of independent stuff since Marvel and DC left them. So, like, you pulled it up. You can go ahead and pull the list back up. But one of the first books that was on that list that we did not get was the Defiant issue #2.
Right.
Robert Small's book. That book is late because Diamond is on one.
It's a dope cover.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So I'll have to go to the shop sometime this weekend, I guess.
By Kanan White, who is in the chat. Shout out to Kanan White.
Kanan White, yes, sir. One on our podcast says, yeah, Diamond been messing up in the game. Yeah, they have.
But
they haven't had issues with Marvel and DC. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm saying. They left. And that was the thing about, you got to go back a couple of years when DC started to sell their books. Because now it used to be where DC was getting their stuff on Tuesday. Now everything is Wednesday. But they had left Diamond, or they was getting ready to leave Diamond. And then that's when they transitioned to having their stuff the day before. And then, of course, they left, and then ultimately Marvel left. Marvel didn't have an incentive to stay. Didn't have an incentive to stay with Diamond, even though Diamond, for the most part, was okay. Monty says, y'all ain't in bed. No, we're not in bed. We still up, bruh.
Acting like I don't got to go to work anymore.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's just been interesting what's been going on with the comic book industry of late or whatever. Now, let me ask you this, Paul. This is a business question. me and Derek did a show one night, and I talked about the tariffs. And I'm just curious, bro. What are you going to do when your Black Panther book is not $5.99, but it's $6.99, $7.99?
Buy less double issues.
You'll get every cover, but just gonna get one.
Just get one.
Go stick to one.
Just one.
I mean, that actually may happen. Now, of course, Donald Trump is not in office yet, but people have kind of gone to a foregone conclusion that these tariffs are coming, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I've already started paring down my monthly pull list. I take a good hard look at my read piles that I have on me next to me all times, and I say, look, if there's any book that's in here, any series in here where it's at the bottom of my real read pile, I have to reevaluate why it's at the bottom. If I'm not really feeling a series, I drop it. And maybe I'll pick up a key that pops up here and there, but unless it's something I'm excited to read, I'm gonna drop it. So I've been paring down my pull list to stuff I actually enjoy reading or stuff I like to collect.
Mm-hmm. Now, Imani's comment there says, what surprises me is that they don't offer digital books as cheaper alternatives. That part right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I discovered just this week? I've heard about it for a long time, but I just now finally explored it. Global Comics, the app Global Comics. Mm-hmm. It basically replaces it's more like what Comixology used to be back in the day.
Right.
Before Amazon screwed up Comixology. Before Amazon screwed it up, Comixology was the bomb because they had accounts with Marvel, DC, and all the independents. Mm-hmm. It allowed me to freely purchase independent stuff digitally first to try it out, see if I like it. Then I could go buy the hard copy if I enjoyed it, but I'd still have the opportunity to support the indie artist by buying the digital stuff at a really reasonable rate. I had a huge Comixology account. Oh,
Jeff, what's up? Going in the building.
Yo, I encourage all of you to use Global Comics. Mm-hmm. It's a great way to explore comics to see which ones you like and which ones you want to invest in. Go ahead and purchase. It's a great way to feel them out. You can buy a yearly thing for like, I want to say it's $180 for the year, but then you have access to everything. You can read everything, and I think DC's on there even. But yeah, I've enjoyed that.
Fast Willie Jack says, if you study and understand tariffs, you'll find that they're mostly used as a negotiation tactic. This is one of the reasons why the Biden administration kept most of the Trump's original tariffs. All I know is that this stuff is going up either way. And my point was, that's not bothering me. The comics going up is not the problem. What's going to probably go up a little bit higher than it already is, and I'm bothered by this, it's been like this since COVID, was supplies, bags and boards. I remember when you could go get a 100-pack of of boards, I should say, for $10. Now they $16, $17.99. A pack of 100 bags, $5.99, $6.99. Now they're hovering around $11.99, $12.99.
Are you getting the Mylars?
Huh?
Are you doing Mylars?
That's just the regular. No, that's just the regular stuff. I ain't even talk about the Mylar stuff. That stuff is $20.
Yeah.
The start. It's crazy, bro. I don't know. The floppy stuff, I'm trying to hang on, Paul. I'm trying to hang on, but that digital alternative is starting to look a little better.
Well, if not the digital, certainly trades. trade paperbacks is a much more economical option.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of issues in terms of accessibility for the market. If you want to get the broadest reach, you got to be available in different places. You have to offer different formats. Got to offer digital as well. And I just don't know if enough of those things are being tried. By the
Where's that? Someone did put a picture of DC putting
in the
a
grocery
rack.
store. Yeah.
Which grocery store was that? Was it Walmart? It wasn't Walmart, was it?
No, it was a regular grocery store. I don't know which one it was though.
Yeah. Well, that's what they need to get back to, man. Put together those comic book packs and sell them in grocery stores. Marvel Unlimited is great. I agree with Imani. I've been a Marvel Unlimited subscriber for, I think, as long as they've been around. I use it a lot because when I travel a lot, so I can't travel with comics. I take my tablet with me, and this is my entire comic library with me at all times. So when I travel, I just pull out my tablet and I'm just chilling reading comics the entire trip. Whether it be Marvel Unlimited and now Global Comics.
I'm looking at my this week's was light for me.
Go back to the list, Derek.
Yeah. This week was light for me. I had 6 Image books and 2 DC books. That's what I picked up today. Now, when I get my stuff from Diamond, it'll probably be a little bit more, including this book here to find. But the independent stuff, man, is starting to really, really take over.
Oh, it is. I mean, look at this list. This list is mostly independent stuff.
Yep.
We've got the Define, as we already mentioned, the series Exit City, MF and Monsters by Jay Holtham. Has some dope covers. I'm not as cool on the art.
Oh man, the art is trash. I'm gonna say it. I'm just going to say it for you.
The cover's dope.
Yeah.
The cover B is dope, but the art interior,
Yeah,
I mean,
talk about a bait and switch. I mean, you know what's funny? My
crazy.
LPS guy, he put one in my box.
Yeah.
I said, man, I don't think I want this.
Yeah.
And then he told me, say it's kind of like if Jordan Peele had wrote, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Man, I cracked that thing open. I was like, man, really, I just left this in the stove. Yeah, the art, the interior art is not that good.
A series I have enjoyed and I encourage people to get is this Kerpow series.
What is that about?
So it's about this young man who, as a boy, witnessed his father murder one of the last superheroes, and this superhero is kind of a Batman analog. And then subsequent to that, his father, after murdering the superhero, becomes like the kingpin, basically, for all intents and purposes, of the city.
Okay.
The son grows up, going to college, kind of resenting and almost hating his father because he views him as a hypocrite, because the father is like, son, I want you to grow up to be better than me. I'm going to send you to college and you're going to be a upstanding citizen. And the son is like, well, you two-timing hypocrite, because the only reason you're able to afford to send me to college and tell me all this stuff is because you're a criminal, you're a murderer, what have you. So the son starts to see visions of the sidekick of the superhero who died. And it's a woman who's kind of like a Robin analog, right?
Okay.
And the Robin is talking to him in moments of stress, and ultimately starts training him to be a superhero, and even directs him to where their bat cave was, where all the equipment is. So he gathers all that gear and starts being a vigilante to fight his father's criminal empire in the hopes of bringing him down. It was a dope series, man. I'm not doing it justice, but that's kind of the series in a nutshell. The art is good. The whole premise of it reminds me a lot of Mark Millar's writing with like Wanted and Kick-Ass, those two series, and you put them together. That's what this book basically is.
Oh, okay. All right, sound good. I might have to go back and get the back issues.
Kurt Powell is a good series, man. It's a good read. Definitely a good read.
Definitely
Go
like
back,
that
Derek, to
cover.
the big list, Derek. We have Shadow Cabinet. We're not going to talk about it. We'll talk about it on Sunday. We're going to talk about it on Sunday. I hope everyone who's watching this has their copy that they pre-ordered in advance. Also, pre-order the upcoming issues. Issue number 4 should be up for pre-order right now for the FOC. Shout out to Daryl Banks. That man is the most unheralded, one of the most unheralded artists. And his artwork is absolutely fantastic.
I tell you what, this book is kind of. Let me see something. Let me look at it. I haven't really looked at this. Okay, so it's got a preview in the back of it, but this is a pretty big book. Yeah, I'm
But
reading this before I hit the sheets tonight.
in answer to Imani's questions, I think it's mostly older DC books. I don't think they put the new stuff on there, Imani. All right, go back to the list there. Scroll on down. Power Fantasy. That's a fantastic series. That's a fantastic series. Original concept about these gods, basically, for all intents and purposes, these people that have these godlike powers, and are really taking over the world. And it's kind of like, why is it that men, humanity, cannot become gods? Kind of answers that question. So the concept of, does power corrupt? And absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of what the Power Fantasy is all about. Dope series. What else? Shadow Man is out.
Yep.
I'm not a big fan of the art on the Shadow Man series. It's been distracting for me. I don't know if I'm going to keep collecting this one, to be honest with you. And I'm a big Shadow Man fan. I think that's the best. That's the best property Valiant Comics owns. But I'm not really feeling the art on this particular book. So
I wish they would bring back Quantum and Woody. Man. I'm just saying.
Wish we could bring back MD Bright.
Wish we could.
Star Trek is fantastic series. That's their best series, man. We got your boy Rodney Barnes still cranking out the Ahsoka issues.
Yep.
Covered by Torrin Clark.
Yeah. I think we will be getting another I think that'll be out next week, the week after that. The Rodney Barnes, the Batman book, Full Moon. That'll come out next week. I'm guessing.
Derek, go back to the creator list on this title. Who's that first name? Does that say with a cowboy hat?
Dave Filoni.
Wow, Dave Filoni. Oh, he's credited as the creator. Is that what it says? Creator or writer?
Yeah, creator.
Oh, because he created the characters. The story. Oh, that's right. He created the story. That's right, for the television show. But notice how many brothers are working on this, man. How many brothers is working on this series?
You got a few.
I'm just saying.
Dexter Ryan.
Robert Simpson is the Lucasfilm's liaison with Marvel. A lot of black folk in these Star Wars comics. Just saying. Coincidence? I don't know.
Getting that Marvel money. Or should I say that Star Wars money? That Star Wars money might be a little different than that Marvel money.
Yeah. So those are our reads of the week. Let's ask the chat. Anyone pick up any books they want to talk about? Filoni is George Lucas's protege. He is more than that. He is not only a protege, he is the heir apparent to the Star Wars universe. Next week's books. What do we got coming out next week?
Goobers. Shout out to Blade. Okay, we got Blade. That's good.
That Amazing Spider-Man series is on this list because Justina Ireland is the writer of that series. So it's nice to see some more brothers and sisters getting some work over there in Marvel. This Blade series by Brian Edward Hills, I don't know why people are not talking about it. Everything he has done with Blade has been fantastic.
Well, you know what? I think this is a little it's not a lot of action in this book.
Wow, look at that! Look at that cover. Go back to that other cover. Well, that's kind of a red band moment.
Yeah, that is for sure. That is for sure. But there has not really been a whole lot of action in the Blade books. This iteration of Blade, or this story arc of Blade. Blade is still trying to figure out how in the world did Varney do what he did. So he got a lot of regrets on his mind. Still a good series though. Goober is
Black Panther 11.
Yeah, that's what's up.
T'Challa versus the new Sorcerer Supreme Anon character that was introduced.
Yeah.
We see those other covers, Derek.
BP.
Oh, look at Storm.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's a nice one.
Ultimate Black Panther. I ain't mad at it, that's for sure.
Let's go back to our list, Derek. Shout out to Cody Ziegler. Got his independent book, Goobers. Has anyone read that? Have you read? Didn't you read this?
Yeah, I read the first issue.
How was it?
Goobers is kind of like no. Goobers is like a if some preteens ran across some aliens, black teens, because they use the word nigga quite a bit in that book. I think Cody Ziegler, I think he put, I'm not gonna say he put himself, but he may have put some of his ideas of young black kids, you know, if they were just like discovered aliens or whatever, what that would look like and what that would sound.
So it's basically Goonies meets Attack the Block. Pretty
much.
Okay.
It's got some funny stuff in it, but it's a gross book because you see the thing coming out their nose, and it's yeah.
Amani asks, is Brian the heir apparent for the Black Panther ongoing title? I don't know, man.
I don't think so.
I think as much as I love Brian Hill's Ultimate Black Panther, Sherilyn Eaton is kind of my lead for taking over the ongoing series right now. And I would take it a step further and say her artist needs to be Fareed Karami again. Because what he did with that Avengers 21 shot, bruh, that was crazy. The two of them together, you can't tell me that wouldn't be a fantastic Black Panther series. That's just making money. I don't know what the hell Marvel's doing.
I don't. What I do know is this: is that whoever gets that book, I think that whoever gets that book has to make T'Challa the king.
Yeah,
whoever it is. I just don't think the Black Panther fandom at large is going to take another transitional book.
No, we're not interested in that. We've had two series to bring him back. It's time for the brother to come back.
Yeah. So if they go another series without him being the king, that would not be good. And I don't think you can make that book good enough without that fact to be put in it. He has to be the king, because it's like, y'all not doing what y'all need to do to keep this character in, on people's radar. That, if that makes any sense. I think that the hardcore will buy the books, but I just don't expect the hardcore to be like, this is amazing, this is great. All he has to do now is make him the king. I think that regardless of what goes on, if the book is great, if the book is terrible, he better be the king.
or emperor, for that matter. What the hell's going on with the intergalactic empire of Wakanda?
I mentioned that the other night on Real Talk with Rich, that I as much as I hated that run, I kind of want to go back and revisit the intergalactic. You know what I'm saying? Do a show or do a book or a limited series or something with him, doing something on a cosmic level. I think that would be pretty good.
Jeffrey Thorne says that they need to shake it up over at Black Panther.
But how do you do that? I mean, I'm saying, because to me, how do you shake that up? I mean, I know Jeff probably got ideas or whatever, right? But
but Jeff is not at liberty to discuss his current stuff going on.
I mean, and
I've said too much.
Let me ask you this, Paul.
Yeah.
Black Panther in the last, when's the last really he had a villain? He was really going in with somebody.
You mean like in the Who Shall Not Be Named series?
Well, I mean, he had the colonists. That was one guy.
Oh God! Don't traumatize me. I still got PTSD, man.
Well, I'm hold on now, because in Dr. Eve Ewan's run, that was not really a villain. I mean, he was basically kind of like
a demon type
mediate
thing
between two crime families.
That's what it was,
right?
It was street level with a mystical twist, because he did have the demon entity Kavuma, whatever it was called, in that series. Just some good world building on her part.
I don't know, man. I'm just, and maybe that's a part of the shakeup. I mean, that they could do.
I'll tell you, you don't even have to invent a new character. Just really, Derek, I can't stand this guy.
It's time to go, y'all.
I was gonna say, literally, all they gotta do is bring back Achebe, man. Just bring back Achebe. That was the best villain.
Yeah.
That was the best villain, because he wasn't fast or strong or had superpowers. He was completely psychological. He's the one dude that could get into T'Challa's head. Achebe was that villain. He was T'Challa's Joker.
Yeah.
T'Challa's Joker.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We gotta figure it out. Either way.
All right, it's time to get out of here, guys.
All right, guys. Please, again, like, share, subscribe, and remember, on Sunday night, Joe Illich will be in the building.
Shadow Cabinet, issue number 2. We talked about in detail. Also, just to give you guys a heads up too, Real Talk with Rich will be on winter break, and we will be back in February, right enough time for Black History Month and Marvel Voices and DC Power Books and all the temporary representation they like to give us in the month of February. Wow. We'll be back for those shenanigans. And you're not even wrong for saying that.
Let's say Chillmonger, you can come hang out with us and talk about all the bad temporary representation and all the bums that will be. We get a chance to read about in February. So with that said, guys, Derek, you got anything before we bounce? I mean, you just kind of spoke, but you kind of flexed when you did the
Derek sleeps 3 hours.
Why would you? I guess boy, that was the hardest. That's the hardest troll ever. Alex Ross. I mean, I would just like to interview and just ask him one question. Why did you make that cover? Why that cover, sir? I
And he'll
mean,
show you his check stub from Marvel and say, "This is what they told me to do."
I wonder how much the original art on that is, boy. That's probably about 5 figures. Whew.
I understand how it's easier for these artists to do work on Procreate on their iPads, but all that revenue from doing it on paper that you can sell later for the original art, that's like money on the table, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Don't believe me? Come to Orlando in January for Orlando Art Expo, OAX, and you see the type of money I'm talking about.
Yeah. Matter of fact, can we run that thing with you and Phil on the way out, y'all?
Oh, please do. Please do.
So anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. We've been here 3 hours, and shout out to Brandon Thomas for hanging out with us and talking about Black Lightning #2, and he'll be back to talk about Black Lightning #3 when it comes out. So until then,
Dr. Wizard, Black Comic Lords, we got you.
Peace.
Derek is like, I can't find the video. I'm completely lost. I don't know what I'm doing.
Come on, man. You can't do the producer like that, bro. You can't.
The producer's got one job to produce. He's got one freaking job. Come on. You know we can't even hear you, right? Your mic is muted.
Oh, I was saying he's just upset because I put that cover on the screen again.
Of course I'm upset.
I was too proud of myself and forgot about everything else.
You can't troll and not do your job at the same time. Come on.
Funny, man.
All right.
This
almost
guy.
Here.
Happy holidays to everybody, too. We'll see y'all when we see you.
I don't even know. Are we doing the end of the year show? What are we doing?
We don't know yet.
I don't know. I'm thinking we'd probably not, be honest, because there's a lot going on. The holiday itself, New Year's is like on a Wednesday. So Monday and Tuesday, that's gonna be kind of hard, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we probably make it happen, but that's a lot of work. We haven't even put together an in memoriam. That thing gonna be that thing gonna be long. We lost a lot of people this year.
There's too many bodies for a memorial, man. It's a lot. It's a lot of people we lost this year.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
All right, y'all. We talk to y'all later. Good night.
Happy we're here.
Soaking it up, man. This is
it is, and I'm glad you're here. For me, it means a lot that you made your way here because it's one thing to have like it's a strange dynamic because I've had so many people come to see the exhibit who are not in our particular space,
right,
and they love it,
right,
absolutely love it. Get all type of crazy accolades. It's
as we were just walking around here, people were walking around off the street, looking at exhibits, seeing you, thanking you, saying, "Hey, I never knew about this. Thank you."
Right.
That's real, and to be very genuine with it.
Right.
Because that's knowledge you didn't know about.
I thought what you did was loud and quiet at the same time.
Thank you.
Because if you are coming from the historical perspective, you see that.
Right.
But it's quiet enough where everyone feels included.
Thank you.
And we're just happy we got to bring our son to see it.
Appreciate that. That means a lot. And I think too, like when I was telling somebody downstairs, I think the thing about this exhibit that sets it apart is that a lot of exhibits you go to, there's this laser focus mentality.
Right.
So I think there is a laser focus mentality here, but there's branches that go out.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's why it's called collections. Plural.
It's plural.
In Black.
Plural. And it's not just Black characters, Black artists, Black culture, Black moments, et cetera, but those aren't all necessarily drawn by African Americans. But there's still play a part in the experience. You know, if we were
capturing the experience.
If we were to alienate everybody from out of the culture, we'd have no Black Panther.
Right.
And we can argue that all day. We can have people that have those issues with it, but we wouldn't have that. But it's also important to see the interpretation of Black Panther through a Brian Still phrase, or to see it through the lens of like a Ken Lashley, just because of what it means to them. That doesn't mean that J. Scott Campbell can't do a dope Black Panther, because if I said that, I'd be lying.
Right.
One of the greatest Black Panther covers is Black Panther #5.
Right.
With Storm, T'Challa, Shuri, like he's captured, everything. But I think it's also that when you love a character, it kind of translates into, into the finished product. But you can also love a character and not be a good artist. So I guess that doesn't count either.
I missed the details before that you had Billy Graham, Matt Baker, Jack Gomez, and Arvell Jones on there. That's nice. It's a nice touch.
Appreciate it. I mean, it's what we do.
Wish I had me a Black Comic Lord sticker. I'd stick it in the corner.